Ma immediately went straight to the master bedroom. As soon as she came in, she saw Lee Zyaroshin, who was clumsily learning how to change diapers. This best friend just returned from her research institute after completing a major project. She has no assigned tasks at the moment and is still on vacation. She is now a free person. She came over early in the morning to eat and drink. "Hello, Auntie. My name is Lee Zyaroshin." This best friend greeted Wu Ma openly. Before coming, Chen Jun had told her that Wu Ma would come to take care of her during her confinement. "Hello, hello. I am Wu Jiangtao's mother." Wu's mother glanced at Li Zyaroshin, and when she saw that they were changing the baby's diaper, she hurried forward to help. The three women chatted while taking care of the baby, and soon, the auntie very kindly asked Li Zyaroshin where her hometown was, whether she had a boyfriend, where she worked, and other similar questions. Seeing this aunt start to ask these questions, Li Zyaroshin couldn't help feeling a little embarrassed. Chen Jun, who was standing next to her, looked normal but was secretly laughing in her heart. What? Wu Ma had just arrived here. In a pavilion in the garden under Building 11, a middle-aged man wearing an old-style martial arts uniform with a strong build, looked to be in his 40s or 50s, with a slightly dignified look on his face, was sitting here. He kept glancing at Building 11, and the voice of the third disciple could be heard from the headphones in his hand. Master's wife is on the 9th floor of Building 11. I can't see the specific house number at the moment." "Okay, I got it. You guys go first." The middle-aged man sitting here calmly is Wu, Jiangtao's father, Wu Zhanyang. After hanging up the phone, he sat quietly with a frown on his face, occasionally looking up at Building 11. Suddenly, his ears moved. "Boss, I found out. The house number that Wu Jiangtao bought is 903. Yes, I'm sure. I just confirmed it. I just saw Wu Jiangtao appear on the south balcony. That's right. He and I live in the same building. All houses in 3 of the entire building face south, so they have the best lighting." Father Wu remained calm, taking out his phone and swiping it, while glancing over there out of the corner of his eye. It turned out to be a young man wearing glasses, whose face could not be seen clearly because of the mask he was wearing. He was sitting on a stone table not far away. In front of him was a laptop computer that had not been touched for a long time, and the screen was off. He was on the phone. "Well, I won't fall behind in the work arrangements of the procuratorial committee. I'll be back soon." Okay. Thank you, Chairman. I will definitely work hard." That stinky boy offended someone in school. In fact, Wu Dad and the bespectacled college student were very far away from each other, a full 40 to 50 meters away. It was impossible for ordinary people to hear each other's normal voice at such a long distance, not to mention that this was in an open area. Therefore, the bespectacled man did not lower his voice when speaking. But this amateur stalker didn't know what the upwind and downwind positions were, and he didn't know that the middle-aged man sitting in the Lanting pavilion in the distance was not an ordinary person, and heard his words clearly. "Brush." This guy got the information and completed the report. He folded his laptop and put it into his backpack. He stood up with a happy face. As soon as he turned around, he felt a black screen in front of his eyes. A very tall and burly figure appeared in front of him at some point, staring at him expressionlessly. Facing the other person's indifferent eyes, the man with glasses' heart skipped a beat. For some reason, he felt a little guilty. "Are you a student at M University?" No, I'm from the agricultural university next door. Sorry, please make way." The guy immediately felt guilty, made up an excuse, and walked away without noticing the other person. But before he could walk away, he saw the middle-aged man in martial arts uniform flash and reappear in front of him, holding 2 stools in his hands, looking at him with a smile. "Are you in such a hurry to leave? Can't you sit and chat with me, your elder?" As he said this, he placed a stool on the grass with a bang. It made a dull sound and the ground seemed to shake. He sat on it, and at the same time he placed another stool on the ground with a dull bang. He patted the stool and looked over at me warmly. "Sit down. I'm best at communicating with young people like you. Come, talk to me." Faced with this scene, the man with glasses trembled all over and almost peed himself on the spot. This is not a stool at all. It is clearly the stone block next to the stone table that was cut into the shape of a stool for people to sit on. Another thing is, this round stone pillar has a handle that can be lifted up. The man with glasses trembled and sat down on the stone pillar in a somewhat limp manner. He clearly saw 5 finger-sized holes appearing on the side of the stone pillar. Well, before there was no place on this stone pillar where it could be lifted with one hand, but now there is. Not far away, several security guards from the Yunlayuan community passed by here. One of them had sharp eyes and was about to come over when he saw what was happening here. "Don't go over there." The security captain held him down. "Team leader, that person just greeted me on purpose. You just need to pretend you didn't see it. But it's nothing, you'll know in a moment. Chapter 37. Lee Xiaoshan's thoughts. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Near noon, Lee Xiaoshan, who had originally wanted to stay for lunch, left as if escaping. Yes, that's right. When our Wu Ma found out that this lively and good-looking girl in front of her was still single, she couldn't bear it, so she immediately started to introduce her nephew, Wu Jiangtao's eldest cousin, to Chen Jun's best friend. Oh, you left in such a hurry? Stay for dinner. I will cook for you myself. No, I have something urgent to deal with at the Research Institute, so I won't stay any longer. Aunt, please stay, please stay. I'm leaving first. Having said that, Li Xiaoshan turned around and left in a hurry as if her butt was on fire. Chen Jun at the back couldn't help laughing, while Wu Jiangtao felt helpless. My mother is really... Her embarrassment isn't obvious yet, and you're still promoting my cousin. His eldest cousin learned a lot of kung fu from his father, Wu. At a young age, he has reached a high level of strength. Not only is he a star warrior, but he also holds an important position in the Q City Police Department. Unfortunately, my cousin who works in the security department is so busy that he has almost no time to date a girlfriend. He is over 30 and still has no plans for marriage. This made Wu Jiangtao's aunt and uncle extremely anxious. His grandparents, who were still alive, also kept urging him to get married, but it was clear that the object could not be found by urging, especially in the current environment. More and more young people are unwilling to compromise, let alone a martial arts master and member of the security corps like my cousin. It is very difficult for ordinary women to be with him. It's not that his vision is very high, but that the level is different. His current level and status are not the key. The key is that a martial arts master like him is not only physically strong, but also has a spiritual realm and mental will that are beyond ordinary people. It is difficult for an ordinary woman to be on the same level as him. And Wu's mother, who can be with Wu's father, is naturally not simple either. She immediately saw that this woman with extraordinary achievements in the academic world could stand shoulder to shoulder with her eldest nephew on this level, so she particularly respected him. But unfortunately, when they first met, Li Xiaoshan obviously didn't know enough about Wu Ma. She didn't know that she was not an ordinary aunt at all. She subconsciously thought that the person she recommended was just a frustrated single guy who had a hard time finding a partner. And her positioning of herself, even if I am a single dog, I am still an aristocrat among dogs. How can I marry someone so easily? Besides, the reason why she kept running to Chen Jun these 2 days was, firstly, because she cared about Chen Jun and was afraid that she would be bullied, so she came to help her. And secondly, she wanted to see whether Wu Jiangtao was a man worthy of her trust. After 2 days of observation, she came to a general conclusion. In general, Wu Jiangtao was just an ordinary college student. Without sufficient academic performance, he was destined to work hard for a job as soon as he graduated. Cooking delicious food is a plus, but it is not irreplaceable. What future can a boy like this have? To work, to strive, to struggle. 10 years, 20 years. This so-called effort is nothing more than a wedding dress for those high-ranking capitals and bosses. The real struggle should be like her and Chen Jun, who have strong enough scientific research capabilities and technology. Even if they are willing, they can transform some of the research projects in their hands into commercial projects worth hundreds of billions. In addition, after seeing Wu's mother this morning, Li Xiaoshan felt completely sorry for Chen Jun and decided to persuade her not to be with Wu Jiangtao in the future. Even if you have children, it won't work. What era is this? Staying together for the sake of children will only cast a shadow on their childhood and is not complete happiness at all. In her opinion, whether it is love or marriage, it should be equal. Otherwise, it will only lay a huge hidden danger to the future of this marriage. Naturally, she didn't tell Chen Jun what she was thinking. What, you're going to cook? After sending Li Xiaoshan away, Wu Ma returned to the kitchen and was about to start making lunch, but her son showed up unexpectedly. Yes, Mom, I can actually cook now. I've also learned how to make all those soups you taught me. Let me give it a try. Can you? Wu Ma's face was full of suspicion. What are you talking about? Wu Jiangtao was very dissatisfied and said angrily, You are looking down on me, right? Maybe the food I cook is even better than yours. Oh, huh? Wu Ma laughed out of anger and stepped aside. Come on, I want to see how much your cooking skills have improved. Just wait, I'm sure I'm no worse than you. Joke. The elite cooking skills taught by our system are not to be underestimated. They are not inferior to those chefs in star-rated hotels and may even be stronger. However, they are not as good as those grandmaster chefs above the legendary level. According to the system's prompts, Elite level abilities are the highest level of abilities it can impart. Going beyond that requires personal talent, aptitude, and understanding. Breakthroughs at this level are like the so-called mysterious artistic conception in many professional fields, which can only be understood but not expressed in words. Those who understand will naturally understand, and those who don't understand will still not understand no matter how much you explain. Aggressive. The sound of the kitchen knife hitting the chopping board when cutting vegetables was rhythmic and very compact. The movement, the speed, and the unique rhythm and beauty in the movement made my mother stunned. Sure, this guy seems to have something. Prick. When he estimated that the oil in the wok was hot enough, Wu Jiantao immediately poured all the vegetables in. When the hot oil and vegetables met in the wok, a burst of thick white smoke burst out immediately. The white smoke was quickly sucked away by the range hood, but the aroma of the cooking could not stop escaping. This asparagus fried chicken fillet was quickly prepared. The speed and efficiency, as well as the way Wu Jiantao casually scooped up the vegetables and put them on the plate, shocked Wu Ma. When did this kid secretly learn such good cooking skills? Wu Ma had good eyesight and could naturally see the unique charm of her son's cooking. This was clearly something that could only be achieved when one's skills were extremely advanced. This unique charm is like the martial arts she has practiced for most of her life. When her body shape, skills, and strength are at the right level, her mind will naturally be there, and every punch and kick will have a unique personal charm. When did you learn such good cooking skills? Do you want to be a professional chef after graduation? No, I just looked at some tutorials on the internet and learned it naturally. Wu Jiantao grinned. Maybe it's because I've become enlightened after my martial arts breakthrough. I feel like I can learn anything very quickly. Chapter 38, Foodies are Foodies. Please read on and give me a monthly ticket. Isn't it an enlightenment? As the system progresses with his primary genetic modification, he not only feels that his body is getting stronger little by little, but he also feels that his vision and thinking ability have improved a lot. It seems that the whole person has become much more transparent. Even the difficult problems he encountered in studying in the past have now become very easy and simple, and he has the answer after a little thought. Soon lunch was ready. Stir-fried chicken fillet with asparagus, stir-fried water spinach, vinegar pork ribs, pig's trotter milk-inducing soup, and egg milk pudding. In addition, Wu Jiantao also used a wall-breaking machine to make some soy milk. Well, I didn't make porridge today, but instead made soy milk. Wu Jiantao is now an elite chef above the professional level. He doesn't just cook for the sake of deliciousness. He considers the nutrition and changing tastes of the diners more. He changes the diet and taste more often so that Chen Jun won't get tired of it. Soybeans in particular are rich in plant protein, calcium, vitamin A, B vitamins, etc. If you eat 2 meals a day containing foods containing soybeans, such as tofu, soy milk, etc., it will be very helpful for the health of pregnant mothers' food and is very suitable for mothers like Chen Jun who have just been discharged from the hospital. After preparing these dishes, Wu Jiantao seemed to have thought of something, turned back to the kitchen and made another dish of Kung Pao chicken. Seeing the dish that the boy brought up, the mother immediately laughed in anger. "You boy, you're so proud of yourself just because I praised you a few words. Is this something Chen Jun can eat? She hasn't recovered yet, so she can't eat such a heavy-tasting dish. Do you want to be beaten?" No, Wu Jiantao was about to explain when he heard the doorbell ring from the direction of the front door. Ding dong, ding dong. Coming, he chuckled, motioned to his mother to wait and she would understand, then turned around and walked over to open the door. But then a slender figure appeared, and someone's greedy and somewhat embarrassed face appeared in front of him. Well, the person who came was Li Ziarashan. Wu Ma, who also walked into the living room, saw her immediately, and a look of joy suddenly appeared on her face. "Hey, Ziarashan is here? Come on, come in." Wu Jiantao couldn't help laughing when he saw her conflicted look on her face, but unable to resist her greed. Well, Li Ziarashan specifically told him about the Kung Pao chicken that was made for lunch yesterday. She said she wanted to taste the flavor of her hometown, so she made a reservation yesterday. When he was cooking at noon, he was thinking that this foodie would not let it go. Sure enough, she came over on time as soon as lunch was ready. "Come on, it's time to eat. You can try the dish you told me about yesterday and see if it tastes like your hometown." Walking into the restaurant, Wu Jiantao pointed at the plate of Kung Pao chicken, and Li Ziarashan looked at this hometown dish and smelled the long-lost familiar aroma from afar. Wu Jiantao went to the master bedroom and helped Chen Jun out. At this time, the two babies were sleeping peacefully. Well, babies sleep a lot in the newborn stage, about 18 hours a day on average. Newborns spend most of their time sleeping, going from one sleep cycle to another, waking up every 2 to 4 hours to feed, and opening their eyes to wake up for a few minutes to an hour. The circadian rhythm has not yet been established. However, as they grow rapidly, their appetite is no longer as small as at the beginning. They can eat more, and their sleeping time has gradually increased. Unlike at the beginning, they have to wake up for feeding once every hour, not even 2 hours. Well, because the two babies are twins, a boy and a girl, they are smaller than ordinary babies, so they naturally eat less and consume more quickly. When I first started taking care of them, they would even wake up every hour or so to feed, and they basically woke up together and made a fuss together. It's better now. I can even sleep for 3 or 4 hours after eating in the afternoon. But I'm still very hungry when I wake up, and I look very fierce when I eat. I'll do it myself, you eat yours. After Chen Jun sat down, she did not let Wu Jiangtao continue to serve her. Instead, she served herself rice and picked up dishes. Wu Jiangtao sat down next to her and very naturally took a small bowl and served her a bowl of pig's trotter soup. Drink some soup first. This soup can help you to get your milk. You can drink more. The witch mother on the opposite side looked at this scene with a touch of relief in her eyes. Seeing that Chen Jun was still a little unaccustomed to being taken care of by others, she quickly supported him. Xiaojun, don't be too polite to this kid. This brat is also fulfilling his duty as a father to take good care of you. This is as it should be. If you don't let him do more work now, there will be no chance in the future. Li Xiaoshan's heart moved slightly. This won't do. Since I have decided to persuade my best friend not to be with Wu Jiangtao, I can't let things develop like this. My thoughts stopped here. Well, the moment she picked up a piece of diced chicken with chopsticks and put it in her mouth, she felt a slight numbness on the tip of her tongue, and a light spicy taste began to spread. Then a sweet taste hit her tongue. She moved her lips and tongue slightly and bit her teeth lightly and felt a perfect sour feeling. The 4 flavors of numbness, spiciness, sourness, and sweetness emerged at different times and exploded in her mouth in a 3-dimensional way. Isn't this delicious? This was not just the taste of hometown in her memory, but a further improvement on the taste of hometown. The taste that touched the softest part of her heart made her completely stunned. At the side, Wu Ma saw Li Xiaoshan eating with a dazed look on her face. She picked up a piece of diced chicken with some confusion and put it in her mouth. She was also stunned. This is so delicious. Li Xiaoshan immediately started to move, eating the dish of Kung Pao chicken with big mouthfuls of rice. Wu Ma was not to be outdone and was immediately attracted by the dish. Wu Jiangtao and Chen Jun were stunned when they saw the way they ate. But when Chen Jun started eating, his attention was immediately focused on the food in front of him. Tasty. So delicious. Swish, swish, swish. Not only them, but Wu Jiangtao was also conquered by his own food and ate it with great relish. In less than 10 minutes, the plate of Kung Pao chicken was finished by Wu Ma and Li Xiaoshan. Seeing that the two of them were about to start eating other dishes, Wu Jiangtao quickly stopped them and said, wait a minute. Huh? He poured them a small cup of hot soy milk. Drink some soy milk first to get rid of the taste of the dish you just had. Otherwise, you won't be able to enjoy the other dishes. Well, that was a natural reaction to his elite culinary skills. Among all the dishes on the table, Kung Pao chicken was the most flavorful. Wu Jiangtao had never expected that Wu Ma and Li Xiaoshan would eat this dish right away and finish it in no time. During the 5 days from New Year's Eve to the 4th day of the Lunar New Year, I may only update once because of my busy family life. If I have free time, I will definitely write more and update more. During the holidays, please understand and forgive me for my failures. Thank you, Xiaonan. By the way, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. I wish all my book friends good luck in the year of the tiger and may they continue to rise. Chapter 39, I am his father. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Oh. Wu Ma and Li Xiaoshan quickly followed suit and took a sip of the warm and refreshing soy milk. They were both stunned. This is, between my lips and teeth, the spicy and crispy taste of the Kung Pao chicken meets the warm and refreshing soy milk, just like the hot June day meeting the extremely refreshing ice cream, creating a very wonderful chemical reaction. How does it feel? Wu Jiangtao, who had expected this, smiled and asked. What a wonderful taste! Not only Li Xiaoshan, but even Wu Ma was amazed at this moment. This kind of wonderful taste was the first time she encountered it, even though she was knowledgeable. The next moment, they couldn't help but raise their hands to wipe the sweat from their foreheads. Li Xiaoshan drank the cup of soy milk in one gulp, exhaled without caring about her image, and looked very satisfied. Ha, delicious! Even Wu's mother couldn't help but give her son a thumbs up in her heart. Good. Our son's performance today was very outstanding, especially the food on the table, which was impeccable and absolutely beyond reproach. When he was almost done eating, Wu Jiangtao's cell phone suddenly rang. The caller was actually Fat Dragon. Wu Jiantao drank pig's trotter soup while picking up the phone and answering it. He even started a video call. Maybe he wanted to see the two big babies. However, when the video call was opened, he almost sprayed a mouthful of soup all over everyone with a poof. Fortunately, he is now a martial arts master with amazing reaction speed. He turned to the side in time, thus avoiding a tragic car accident. I just praised you a few words and you. Wu Ma was very dissatisfied and couldn't help scolding him. You are such a grown-up, but you can still eat like this. Shaking her head, she stood up with her stomach filled to the brim and cleaned up the dishes and bowls on the table. Wu Jiantao was choked and could not help but bend down and cough. Chen Jun next to him subconsciously reached out and patted his back to help him breathe. What happened? Wu Jiantao was coughing badly, but Fat Long on the other side ignored his reaction and said excitedly in the video call, Jiangjiang, look, our college's most pretentious taekwondo club has met a real master. Damn, I didn't have time to take a picture just now, but it was so cool, ahahaha. But it's not too late now, look, Chen Mei is here in person. Cough, 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 cough. Mom, cough, cough, Mom, look at this. Wu Jiantao quickly handed the phone over. Wu's mother, who was cleaning the table, took it unhappily. When she saw the tall figure standing on the arena on the phone screen, she grunted and almost choked. Fat Long on the opposite side looked puzzled, not understanding why Wu Jiantao would hand the phone to Wu Ma. He quickly waved to Wu Ma, who appeared in front of him. Hello, Auntie. I'm Fat Long, Jiantao's roommate and best friend. Oh, hello. Although she was used to many storms, Wu Ma was still dumbfounded at this moment, because the person standing on the martial arts arena on the mobile phone screen was her husband, Wu Jiantao's father, Wu Zhaniang. Why did he appear at M University? And why did he appear inexplicably at some taekwondo club's competition? Wu Ma and Wu Jiantao looked at each other in bewilderment. Chen Jun and Li Xiaoshan, who were standing nearby, were confused when they saw how they reacted. What happened? Mom, that... Wu Jiantao looked at his mother in confusion. My dad is here today, too. No, when I went out this morning? After answering casually, Wu Ma was suddenly stunned. The next moment she suddenly thought of the scene where I let the cat out of the bag yesterday, but my husband had no reaction at all. Of course, a half smile appeared on her face. The old witch has improved a lot. She can even play tricks in front of me and sneak behind me. No, if he was following behind me, there would be no way I didn't notice it, at least not when I went out. Wu Ma was still very confident in her perception. A warrior at her level would be keenly aware of any slight disturbance around him. In other words, there must be someone helping him so that he could follow all the way here. Thinking of this, Wu Ma picked up the phone, pressed a button, and made a call. The phone rang for a long time before the other party finally picked up. Hello, Master's wife. Hee, Wu Ma sneered and said indifferently. Seventh brother, you guys are really good. You actually have a tracking skill that I can't detect. Not bad, not bad. I'll ask you for advice some other day. Otherwise, we old people are out of touch with the times, which is not acceptable. The young man on the other side laughed and said awkwardly, Master's wife, what you said, why don't I understand it? Keep pretending, Wu Ma sneered. You decide for yourself or wait until I get back to talk to you. I say. The seventh player on the opposite side immediately gave in. What? The time goes back more than half an hour. You mean your student union president asked you to come here to investigate Wu Jiantao's address? Why? Well, in the very smooth communication, the man with glasses who was blocked by Wu Dad told everything, from his identity to the identity of the person behind him, and then to why he came here this time and what his purpose was. Our chairman did this for Chen Jun? No, our chairman just cares about Chen Jun and Wu Jiantao. Yes, he cares about them, so he asked me to come over and take a look. Really, just to take a look. The man with glasses looked embarrassed and tried to make excuses. Wu's father watched this guy's performance, acting like if you say anything, I believe you and I am your second uncle. Well, may I ask who you are? At this point, the man with glasses plucked up the courage to ask back. I'm his father. You are Chen Jun's father. The man with glasses was shocked and stood up and bowed to him repeatedly. Hello, uncle, that. Misunderstanding. Our boss actually asked us to come here to protect Chen Jun. This guy mistook him for her. Wu Dad was a little confused, but he quickly reacted. He remained calm and didn't explain, letting this guy spill the beans about what happened. Soon after hearing this guy's description, Wu Dad became even more confused. Wait a minute, isn't that guy's girlfriend called Lu Wanner? What's going on with that school goddess Chen Jun? Chapter 40, The Surprise of Witch Dad. Please read on and give me a monthly ticket. Besides, that brat even had a child with that girl named Chen Jun. What the hell? This is which urban emotional TV series is being filmed here. Right. Well, finally the man with glasses shook his head and sighed, and said to the father of Chen Jun, "The situation is like this. It was obviously our boss who pursued Chen Jun first, and Chen Jun also loved our boss. As a result, now that bastard surnamed Wu has stolen the love and even used some despicable and shameless means to make Chen Jun give birth to his child, so that the two people who were obviously in love can't be together." Oh, Dad Wu was still a little confused. He roughly understood what had happened, but the internal logic of these things was scattered and could not be connected at all. What a despicable trick. My son also asked that person to give birth to a child. And that's so and so, and that's so and so. Two people who love each other can't be together. Is it because my brain nerves are not in tune with the trend and the imaginative ideas of these young people? Shaking his head, he didn't want to bother with these bullshit. He turned around and went upstairs to ask his wife and son about it face to face. Maybe he had met a psychopath, so he had better ask clearly what kind of person his son was and what his character was like. He was still very sure. Having a child with a girl out of wedlock during college, this kind of thing, is impossible, absolutely impossible. But the man with glasses pulled him back enthusiastically. "Wait, uncle, don't rush up. I'll take you to see our chairman. Our chairman Chen Mei is a handsome man. He is the best in both academic performance and interpersonal relationships. I think you must have a lot to talk about with him, and we can work together to rescue your daughter from Wu Jiangtao." It might be because Wu's father behaved very kindly during the conversation, which made this guy forget the terrifying appearance of the other party at the beginning, and he even insisted on introducing Chen Mei to him. It's not that Wu's father is incapable of getting rid of the problem, but he suddenly has an idea and decides to go meet the student union president named Chen Mei, which may help his son solve his problem. Well, although he had not walked the martial arts world for many years, and even the younger generation in the martial arts world now had few people who knew his name, Wu Zhaniang had seen all kinds of people in the martial arts world for half his life, including chivalrous and upright heroes, as well as sinister and vicious villains who schemed against others. For young people like Chen Mei, he planned to go over and take a look and give him a good lesson to prevent him from going astray. Following the bespectacled man's wishes, Wu Dad followed him to M University, and soon the two arrived at the college's gymnasium. As he stepped into the gym, Wu Ba's eyes were filled with surprise. He looked here and there, and his eyes were not enough. On the first floor in the huge dojo, there were people practicing street dance, skateboarding, and dancing. Going up to the second floor, he also saw many people practicing swordsmanship on the field, but after a closer look, he found that they were not holding the swords of Chinese martial arts, but the cross swords of the West, and they were practicing the simple and plain thrusting and chopping. This made him frown slightly. "Has your uncle never seen it?" The man with glasses smiled and said, "Our M University's fencing club is one of the best in the F-City University Town Circle. We have won 3 consecutive championships in the F-City College fencing competition. Several presidents have obtained professional certification from the International Fencing Federation and have very strong practical skills." Ahem. Just a shelf. Father Wu snorted in dissatisfaction, but did not say this directly. "By the way, why didn't we see any Chinese martial arts clubs along the way?" After taking a final look at the swordplay practice of the M University Swordplay Club, Father Wu asked calmly, "You mean the Wushu Club? Haha, that's a small club with not many people. They couldn't even make it to the main competition in the Southeast Free Fighting Open competition several times. But our M University's Taekwondo Club and Infinite Flow Club made it to the main competition, and our Taekwondo Club's president even made it into the top 10. The man with glasses knew the terrifying side of the middle-aged man in front of him, and he introduced him carefully. "The president of the Taekwondo Club is Chen Mei, the chairman of our student union. He has obtained the professional certification of the International Taekwondo Federation established by Dahan Country and is a professional black belt 5th degree master." Yeah. As he spoke, he had no idea that the expressionless Wu Dad was already feeling an uncontrollable dissatisfaction in his heart. Is this what young people learn nowadays? Who would have thought that over the past decade or two, as the legal system has improved, the Chinese martial arts world that was created by several generations has begun to adapt to the trend of the times and move towards the so-called marketization and internationalization. Now, it actually caused such a weather. Perhaps the phenomenon of M University does not represent the current situation of the Chinese martial arts world, and it may be just an isolated phenomenon, but Wu Dad really can't stand it. What's wrong with these young people now? Why do they all learn and even worship Taekwondo, infinite flow, and Western swordsmanship. Ridiculous! China's martial arts heritage of thousands of years has a long history, and after the baptism of modern struggles, it has now been refined and the essence remains. Whether it is fists or weapons, they are no worse than those foreign monks, and some even have a more profound foundation and are more advanced. But what is happening now? Arriving at the third floor of the M University Gymnasium, Wu's father's eyebrows moved slightly. This place is different from the first and second floors that I passed by before. The wooden floor is smooth and bright, and the venue is clean and tidy. All the young people who are exercising are wearing Taekwondo uniforms. Every punch and kick is uniform, and the movements are crisp and sharp. As soon as you arrive here, you are greeted by various Taekwondo cultural symbols and posters. The posters show various fierce leaps and kicks. The whole atmosphere is high-spirited and enthusiastic, and the atmosphere is very different. Uncle, look, this is our Taekwondo club. Yeah, not bad. Wu Ba nodded. Even though he was unhappy, as a warrior he could naturally see that the leg techniques taught here were quite good, and there was something real. At this time, Chen Mei, the president of the club, also saw them, but did not come over immediately. Instead, he continued to teach the members to practice Taekwondo. Pay attention to your breathing, pay attention to the rhythm, keep your steps and maintain the rhythm of your breathing. The Taekwondo we practice focuses on explosiveness. Its lethality is unique in the world. The fundamental reason lies in breathing and rhythm. If your breathing is disordered, your kicking will lose its rhythm, and it will be impossible to have an explosive and kill with one blow. Chen Mei, wearing a Taekwondo robe and a black belt around his waist, had a stern expression. He was obviously just standing there, but the aura he exuded was very powerful. Chapter 41, let's talk about it. Please read it and give me a monthly ticket, Tilda. It's interesting, but it's too young. Father Wu looked at him for a few times, and found that he was far inferior to the Taekwondo master from Han Country whom he met when he was young. He stood quietly on the sidelines and watched, while the man with glasses had already trotted over. When he was about to introduce Chen Jun's father to his boss, he saw Chen Mei staring at him coldly. Did you forget something? Forehead. Only then did he remember that even when members entered the dojo, they could not wear casual clothes, but had to wear dojo uniforms. I'm sorry, I'll go change it right away. What? Hello, uncle, I'm Chen Mei. Soon, Chen Mei put down the coaching training at the Taekwondo club and turned to come to Wu Dad. However, after walking closer and seeing the other person's appearance clearly, he frowned slightly. I just heard from Xiao Lu that you are Chen Jun's father. No. Wu's father stopped pretending and said calmly, I am Wu Jiangtao's father. As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere at the scene suddenly froze. Chen Mei immediately turned around and glanced coldly at the man with glasses beside him. Idiot, he didn't even make it clear what the identity of the person he brought here was. No, uncle, didn't you just say? That's enough. Chen Mei looked Wu Pa up and down with a look of relief in her eyes. She chuckled and said, So it's Senior Wu. I heard that you are also from a martial arts family. I wonder what advice you have for me today. The last time, when he witnessed Wu Jiangtao's absolutely professional level burst of power in Yunlu Garden, he specially investigated the boy's family background and found out that he actually came from a family of martial artists, and his family ran a small martial arts school. At this time, he examined Wu Jiangtao's father face to face. Judging from Chen Mei's many years of Taekwondo practice, although he seemed to have a good physique, his body was loose, and his footsteps were no different from those of ordinary people. He didn't look like a martial artist at all. What do you want to teach me? Wu Ba was happy. The bespectacled man next to him, Xiao Lu, was immediately shocked. Boss Kairadu Sak, let's talk it over nicely. What? Almost at the same time, at Yunlu Garden. Boss, this. A security guard stared at the stone pillar on the grass with wide eyes and saw clearly the 5-finger-sized holes on the upper side of the stone pillar. The security captain had a solemn expression on his face. He stepped forward, bent over, and stretched out his hand. His 5 fingers naturally penetrated into it. Very strong, this kind of finger skills and power. Thinking of this, he roared angrily and lifted up the stone pillar with one hand. Almost at the same time, his face turned slightly red. Oh my God! The 2 men standing nearby were stunned. This stone pillar weighing several hundred kilograms was actually lifted up with one hand. Drink! The security captain picked up another stone pillar and walked forward with one in each hand, stepping heavily on the ground with each step. Dong dong! With 2 muffled sounds, the 2 stone pillars were put back far away. The captain's face was now flushed and his breathing was a little rapid. Captain, you are amazing. You are indeed worthy of being a professional-level certified warrior. Captain, you said that expert is stronger than you. I think you are about the same as him. You can both carry these 2 stone pillars and walk." Hearing his men's exclamations, the security captain shook his head and said self-deprecatingly, "No, the gap between him and me is huge, so huge that you can't imagine. You have also watched the surveillance here just now. That man was holding these 2 stone pillars as if he was holding a small object weighing several kilograms. It was very natural, as if he didn't put any effort. Do you know what this is called? This is called lifting a heavy object with ease. Compared with him, the difference between me and him is like the difference between a 3-year-old child and an adult." An hour later, the video of Chen Mei attacking Wu Ba from the surveillance camera of the M University gym was edited by a busybody and uploaded directly to the Academy's forum, which immediately ignited the entire Academy's martial arts department and other sports departments. Well, some people in the college have been unhappy with the Taekwondo club and Chen Mei for a long time. As soon as the incident happened here, an expert from the computer department took action and made a video of the good things happening on the 3rd floor of the gymnasium and released it. This led to the video call between Panglong and Wu Jiantao. "It feels so good. I've been fed up with the Taekwondo club in the academy that pretends to be so arrogant all the time, ha 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 ha." This time Chen Mei failed to show off and was pinned to the ground and rubbed. But now that the younger one has been beaten, the older one is out. I don't know what to do. Well, this guy has been doing nothing these days, so he just holds his phone and chats with those sauerkraut fans who criticize Wu Jiantao on the college forum. After seeing the video sent by the Taekwondo club, he came here immediately. Wu Jiantao also saw the video post on the college forum. In the video, Wu Dad didn't seem to have any intention of fighting with the other party. He waved his hand and turned around to leave. At this moment, Chen Mei behind him suddenly took a step into the air and kicked him directly behind the head. Seeing this scene, Chen Jun and Li Xiaoshan beside them both cried out in surprise. They almost thought that their uncle was going to be kicked over, but they saw him reaching back without even turning his head, grab the opponent's ankle with incredible precision, and pull him forward. The next moment, they saw Chen Mei flying directly out of the video range. Then the video switched to another surveillance camera, which was a picture of the corridor. A figure appeared as if riding on clouds, and then it flew across the screen again. The funniest thing is that the editor deliberately slowed down the video 8 times and played it again, so that people who watch the video can clearly see that it is Chen Mei. Immediately, the video switched to the surveillance camera at the corner of the staircase. In the video, Chen Mei finally reacted and did a beautiful somersault in mid-air. His feet were about to land steadily on the ground. However, he did not seem to realize that this was not flat ground but stairs, and one of his feet accidentally stepped on empty space. In the video, this guy waved his hands helplessly in the air for several times, and then he lost his balance and fell down directly. Plop, bang, ping, boom. Ouch, ouch. This guy turned into a rolling gourd, rolling down the stairs and finally lying at the corner of the stairs, unable to get up. It looked like he had fallen hard. That scene just now, Li Xiaoshan covered her stomach and laughed so hard that her body was shaking. She collapsed on Wu Ma's shoulder, laughing so hard that she couldn't help herself. Chen Jun, who was standing next to her, also laughed out loud, but the pain caused by the transverse incision in her lower abdomen made her gasp. "Hiss." Wu Jiantao noticed it immediately and hurried over to support her. "Are you okay? Don't laugh." Wu. Chapter 42. Son, there is a way. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Chen Jun, who was in pain from extreme joy, took a while to calm down. The laughter just now affected the transverse incision in her abdomen, which made her feel a little depressed. "What a trouble. I don't even have the freedom to smile happily. What happened in the video happened more than 20 minutes ago. As the saying goes, beating the younger one will alarm the older one." At this time, in the video call between Pang Long and Wu Jiantao, the coach hired by the Taekwondo club, who is also Chen Mei's master, appeared and stood opposite Wu's father with a gloomy face. Seeing that a very exciting duel was about to break out, Pang Long, who was on a video call with Wu Jiantao on the sidelines, was very excited and looked forward to the next duel. Unfortunately, at the critical moment, the members of the Taekwondo club suddenly came over with cold faces and drove him and all the students who came to watch the excitement out. "Our club is temporarily closed. Please leave first." Get out, everyone get out. "Stop filming, there's nothing to film." What? Beep. During the scuffle, the video call was closed amidst Fatty Long's curses. Wu Jiantao frowned slightly and turned to look at his mother. "Mom, is my dad in danger?" "Don't worry, he's just a low-ranking professional warrior from Han Country." Wu Ma waved her hand nonchalantly. No, Wu Jiantao winked at his mother. Mom, why don't you go over and take a look? Mom, go take a look and chase Dad back. I believe you can do it. How could Wu Ma not understand her son's thoughts? She rolled her eyes at him and said, No need. You little bastard, clean up your own shit yourself. I have done my best. At this time, Chen Jun beside him spoke up in time. Aunt, why don't you go over and take a look? The man who just appeared is called Li Yingshan. He is a master hired by the Taekwondo Club from Hangguo High Tech. He once won the International Taekwondo Open Championship. Ordinary warriors are no match for him at all. Although the Open Championship is still mainly a professional Taekwondo sport, amateurs can also participate in the competition. Generally, real professional masters are unlikely to participate, but young professional athletes will choose to hone their skills in this kind of competition when they first debut. It's okay, it's okay. Wu Ma didn't care at all. Jiang Tao's father is thick-skinned and tough. He will be fine even if he gets beaten up. Li Ziaoshan and Chen Jun looked at each other in bewilderment. It was okay. He was thick-skinned and could take a beating without any problem. Are you really okay? After all, there are so many people in the Taekwondo club. What if they are unreasonable and start a group fight? After saying that, Wu Ma turned around and left with a nonchalant look on her face. She put the dishes in the dishwasher, went to the kitchen to clean up other things, and started preparing to slaughter the duck. She will slaughter the 2 old ducks today, and then stew half of them each time for her daughter-in-law to drink, once every 2 days. Well, that's about 2 ducks a week and 8 ducks a month. If there are not enough at home, she can buy a few from neighbors and relatives in the village, so that there will be enough old duck soup for her daughter-in-law to drink during her confinement. Hey, Jiang Tao, why don't you go over and take a look? After Wu Ma left, Chen Jun quickly pulled Wu Jiangtao, and Li Ziaoshan beside him also advised. Yes, that Li Yingshan is not a good person. It's okay, don't worry, my dad will be fine. Wu Jiangtao smiled bitterly inwardly. Worried about my dad? You might as well worry about me. When he comes, he will definitely not let me off easily. After lunch, Li Ziaoshan did not leave, but stayed in the room with Chen Jun. Wu Jiantao was taking care of the 2 babies when suddenly his phone started to ring with WeChat notifications. Speechless, he clicked on them, but they turned out to be several WeChat voice messages and a video from Panglong. Wow, that's awesome. Check out the video I sent you. Jiang, hurry up and take a look. The guy who just came to challenge the Taekwondo Club is definitely an expert among experts. Wu Jiantao clicked on the video. The picture in the video was a little shaky. It was the rolling door of the Taekwondo Club's main entrance being lowered. But when the video reached the 17th second, bang! Suddenly the whole door made a loud noise, and the stainless steel and aluminum alloy rolling door shook violently, and a human figure popped out in an instant. The person who took the photo with this mobile phone obviously did not expect this scene, and was so scared that the phone screen suddenly shook. The video ends here. Chen Jun on the bed was unable to get up and didn't see it. Li Ziaoshan heard Pang Long shouting and came over curiously. After seeing this video, she was instantly shocked. Oh my god, Jiang Tao, this can't be your dad. Li Ziaoshan was anxious. She quickly snatched the phone and ran outside to hand it to Wu Ma. Aunt, please take a look at this. Oh, please stop bathing the duck. Go and take a look. Here, Wu Ma had just bled an old duck and was using boiling water to scald its feathers in preparation for plucking. Upon hearing this, she looked up, bewildered. Bathing the duck? What the hell? After watching the short video on her phone, she couldn't help but burst out laughing. Really? His temper is still so bad, no wonder he is always scolded by his father, who always scolds him for not practicing meditation. At this moment, Wu Ma suddenly had an idea. Brush. She stood up suddenly, wiped her wet hands on her chef's apron, and hurried to the master bedroom. She pushed the door open and said, Son, there is a solution. After returning from M University, Wu Dad, who had just arrived at the gate of Yunlu Garden, suddenly felt an itch in his nose and couldn't help sneezing. He wiped his nose in a strange way and frowned. Walking into the community and passing through the pleasant garden, we soon arrived in front of Building 11 where Wu Jiangtao lived. As soon as he walked in, Wu's father saw 2 young men, one fat and one thin, waiting for the elevator in the corridor. When they saw Wu Ba coming in, the 2 young men were also stunned. Isn't this the martial arts master from M University's Taekwondo class? Seeing that he pressed the 9th floor, the fat young man couldn't help but blurt out, Uncle, are you going to the 9th floor too? Hello, my name is Pang Yinglong, and this is my roommate and brother Wu Feiyang. Uncle, are you a professional warrior? I guess so. Wu Dad nodded. Oh, we are from M University too. You just happen to be in our Taekwondo club. You are so awesome. You made all the boys from M University feel relieved. Oh, Wu's father was surprised and looked at the two of them. Which department are you from at M University? We are students from the computer department, hee. Fat Dragon grinned. Yes, that's right. This time, the surveillance footage from the Taekwondo club was edited and posted online at the first possible moment. It was a test run of the 405 team's collaborative efforts. I had some free time today, so I wrote a little more and updated one more chapter. Today, I will update twice tilde. I don't have many manuscripts left, and I don't dare to post more. During the holidays, it is inevitable to deal with the trivialities of life and the social interactions. I am not a great writer yet, and I cannot ask others to take care of my work and time. There will probably be only one update tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. If I have time, I will definitely update more. The update will probably resume normal on the 5th and 6th of the Lunar New Year. Please understand. Thank you, Zionin. I wish you all a new year with new prospects and good luck. Chapter 43 is coming. Please read and vote for me, tilde. Uncle, do you live here? Wu's father did not answer this question directly. He evaded the question and asked in return, I heard that many students from M University rent houses here. Are you one of them too? He was able to enter and exit Yunlu Garden freely, which naturally meant that he had done his homework. Although he had just arrived, he chatted with the security captain here for a while, obtained some information and intelligence about the place, and casually gave him some pointers on his martial arts practice, which immediately intimidated the other party. Although he has not been in business for many years, this is an old skill and he has not forgotten it. Yes, we came here to find a classmate. He is now a celebrity in our college, haha. Wu Feiyang was getting a little carried away again. Our good buddy is called Wu Jiantao. Uncle, you will never guess what kind of feat he has accomplished in our M University. Interesting. Wu Dad's expression changed slightly. Before Fatty Dragon at the side could stop him, the fellow had already proudly recounted Wu Jiantao's glorious deeds. Let me put it this way. Most college couples get married right after graduation, but he already has a son and a daughter before he even graduates. Wu Dad, when I was chatting with the man with glasses downstairs before, I heard him talking about the child's problem. At that time, I thought he must have made a mistake, because Wu Dad knew what kind of character his son was. But at this moment, he was a little confused and asked subconsciously, having both a son and a daughter, what does that mean? Ha ha ha. Seeing the surprise and astonishment on the master's face, Wu Feiyang was very proud. It means exactly what it says. Uncle, you can't imagine it, right? But this is the fact. My buddy hasn't even graduated yet, and he already has a child. Impossible, right? At this point, Wu's father's tone was no longer so certain, and his eyes were full of doubt, considering that his wife had been here for so many days. Could it be that? Really? Really, this matter has spread throughout our college. Even our college goddess Chen Jun has admitted it herself, Zio Wu said with a beaming face, and Pang Long was too lazy to stop him. At this point, although most people in the college still don't believe it, the matter has already spread, so let's just say it. Don't disbelieve it. Seeing that Wu Dad was still full of doubt, Zio Wu smiled and took out his phone to retrieve the photos he had taken before, and handed them to him. Take a look. When Wu Zhanyang saw the photo, he was shocked, angry, and happy. What shocked him was that his son had caused such a big commotion this time. It was normal for a relationship to result in death, and he could still accept it, but how could this result in the death of two babies? Then there was anger. This guy didn't care and had a child with a girl. The most important thing was, how dare this brat keep hiding it from me? 10 months of pregnancy plus hospitalization for delivery. He kept such a big thing a secret. Yes, this time his wife came in a hurry. I guess this guy finally felt that having a child was too big a thing to keep secret. Thinking of this, Wu Dad was so angry that he laughed. At the very end, there was a hint of joy in my heart. I never expected that our Wu family would grow so quickly, and I would become a grandfather at such a young age. Now Father Wu is just 50 years old, and his martial arts skills are still at their peak, and there is even potential for further improvement. Inside the elevator, the uncle's face became visibly gloomy, and the air in this small space seemed to be stagnant. They arrived at the 9th floor, but Fat Dragon and Zio Wu were unable to move. It was too scary. At this moment, they felt their entire bodies were cold, as if they were completely frozen. Cool. After a while, Father Wu finally restrained his dissipating aura, and the two of them finally relaxed. Tap, tap. The two of them hurriedly ran out of the elevator and headed towards room 903. Just as they were about to press the doorbell, they heard steady footsteps behind them. Zio and Fatlong were horrified to see that the terrifying master had already come behind them, reached out his hand and pressed the doorbell. Ding dong, ding dong. Gurgle, the two guys were so scared that they didn't dare to breathe. Their minds were blank. At this moment, the sound of brisk footsteps was heard from behind the door. Who is it? At the same time as a pleasant and melodious young female voice was heard, the door opened. It was Lee Zayaroshan who opened the door. She looked at the three strangers in front of the door with a puzzled look on her face. Who are you? These three men looked a bit strange. The older one, who was stronger and taller, stood at the back with a gloomy face. The two men in front, one fat and one thin, also looked strange. They were pale and sweat was pouring down their faces. If you didn't know better, you would think that Lee Zayaroshan had opened the door and poured a basin of foot-washing water on these two guys. We are Wu Jiangtao's da. Zaiao's teeth were chattering, and he couldn't even speak clearly. At this time, Wu Dad had already restrained his aura. The reason why they behaved like this was entirely due to their own psychological effects. Immediately, his deep voice also rang out at this time. I am Wu Jiangtao's father. Hearing this, Fat Dragon and Zaio Wu outside the door felt their bodies soften, and they relaxed instantly. It turned out to be my uncle. Oh, you should have told me earlier. I scared him to death. It's Uncle Wu. Hello, my name is Lee Zayaroshan. I'm Chen Jun's classmate and best friend. Come in, Auntie, and everyone is here. The girl inside the door was smiling, and the shallow dimples on her face stunned Fat Long and Zaio Wu outside the door. As she spoke, she moved her slender body aside, and the three of them walked in. After passing through the entrance hall, they were all stunned when they saw the whole picture of the house. This house, although there is no luxurious decoration, no golden and magnificent dragons and phoenixes, but the simple wooden floor, the moon-white wall inlaid with mahogany cabinets, the elegant window lattice, the simple sofa. Everything seems casual and simple, yet it appears so natural and harmonious. It is obvious that the price of this house is definitely not low. You're here. At this time, everyone was in the living room. Mother Wu, who was sitting on the sofa, looked up at her husband, greeted him, and a hint of cunning appeared in her eyes. Chen Jun also hurriedly stood up, bowed slightly and nodded to him. Hello, uncle, I'm Chen Jun. Only when he faced her did Wu's father force a smile on his face. Hello, Dad. Wu Jiantao, who was supporting her, cried out with a guilty look on his face. Chapter 44, Whose Problem Is It? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. As soon as he came in, although Wu Dad's face was calm, the look he gave his wife was full of obvious warning, telling her that he was going to teach his son a lesson and she should not interfere. Wu Ma was helpless about this, but when it came to educating her son, she never interfered. This was a tacit understanding formed between the couple over the past few decades. If it was anything else, would he dare to look at me like this? Father Wu looked at his son steadily, his expression calm. You are fine. I was told that your mother had been gone for so many days without saying a word, and she didn't tell me anything after she came back. You have grown up, kid, and you actually caused such a big thing for me without saying a word. Come here. Uncle, no, listen to me. Chen Jun quickly stepped forward. Father Wu raised his hand and said, As an elder, I am too arrogant to call you Zayaroshan. You don't have to explain for him. No matter how the result today came about, he has an unshirkable responsibility. As he said this, he turned around and was about to walk towards the door, but suddenly an old voice came from behind him that made his heart skip a beat. What's the matter that can't be said here? Why do you have to go away? Brush. Dad Wu turned his head suddenly and was shocked to see two extremely familiar figures on a 70-inch TV. Among them, the familiar face was looking at him calmly. But this old man had black hair and not many wrinkles on his face. If it were not for the vicissitudes between his eyebrows and eyes, it would not be an exaggeration to say that he was a middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s. Dad, when he just came in, he really didn't notice that there was a video call going on the TV on the side. HMPH, do you still have my father in your eyes? The old man snorted indifferently. You have been so arrogant since you came in. Who are you showing off to? No. Father Wu was a little embarrassed for a moment, but he still pointed at Wu Jiantao beside him angrily. This kid has quietly made such a big scene for me. How can I not teach him a lesson? In the past, I admit that this kid has no talent in martial arts, but now he has made such a scene in such an important matter of life and right and wrong. This kid deserves a beating. Yeah. Old Master Wu snorted and said calmly, I already know the whole story. I've told Tao everything I should have said and taught him a lesson. Since you happen to be here, I'll talk to you about your problem. My question. Wu Dad's eyes widened immediately. No, this. How did it become my problem? The old man on the TV screen couldn't help but move closer to the camera. His face instantly doubled in size, and he angrily shouted at him, You have a big problem. I... Father Wu covered his forehead with his hands, feeling extremely troubled. He couldn't help but turn around and glance at his wife. There was no doubt that the appearance of the old man must have something to do with her. Facing this glare, Wu Ma smiled at him slightly. "What are you looking at? Try looking at another one." "Wu Dad." The old man immediately defended his daughter-in-law. "It has nothing to do with Zaya-Okian. I will slowly settle your problems with you later, but you can't leave for Tao Tao's problem right now. Let's talk about it here." "Dad," Wu's father still looked a little angry. "This kid. You dog, stop talking nonsense to me." Uncle Wu was also angry and pointed a finger at him through the screen. "Do you dare to hit my little grandson? Try it yourself. The grandparents are the grandparents." And they almost cursed back at them when they were in the army. Wu's father's face fell. Well, at least he couldn't deal with this kid now. "You come here with a nose that's not a nose, and eyes that are not eyes. Sit down and listen to Tao Tao explain the cause and effect of the matter." Dad Wu had no choice but to follow the old man's instructions and sit on the sofa in the living room. "Dad, listen to my explanation." "Uncle, listen to me." At this time, Wu Jiangtao and Chen Jun said this almost at the same time, which made Grandpa Wu on the other side of the TV very happy. It was great. It was great. These two kids looked like a perfect match. As he said that, he said to Wu's father again, "Listen to me, kid. If you have any questions or want to be taught a lesson, just say it here. Is there anything that can't be talked about? Do you have to use force to teach a lesson? Your ideological awareness is still far from enough." When we were in the army. At this point, Grandma Wu beside him patted him on the shoulder and Grandpa Wu shut up angrily. "Let's not talk about this. Xiao Tao and Xiao Jun, continue. Continue. Explain what you just said to us to your dad. I believe he is still very reasonable." At the end, he deliberately emphasized the word reasonable. Wu's father felt touched but could only bear it and glared at Wu Jiangtao. While the family was talking, Li Xiaorashan had already quietly left with Fatty Long and Xiao Wu. When Chen Jun subconsciously stepped forward to speak, Wu Jiangtao beside him gently pulled him back and smiled at her. "Let me do it." Snort. Although Father Wu was very unhappy, when he saw his son take the initiative to stand up, he nodded slightly in his heart. Next, Wu Jiangtao recounted everything that had happened in the past few days, without exaggerating or evading the important points. "This is the whole process." He looked embarrassed and said, "I'm sorry for causing trouble for everyone. It's my fault that I didn't explain it clearly to you, Dad, right away." Dad Wu groaned and was about to speak when Grandpa Wu, who was looking at his two little great-grandchildren happily on TV, came over without any courtesy. "What are you humming about here, old man? Don't you understand that if a son fails to teach his parents well, it is the fault of his parents? I think you are also half responsible for this matter. Why didn't Tao Tao tell you at the beginning but told Zai-Okian instead? And he has entered the whole strength stage now. Is this what you told me before, that his martial arts talent is mediocre and he has no hope in martial arts in this life?" Grandpa Wu sneered. "Don't be unconvinced, kid. Tao Tao has handled the situation very well from the beginning until now. He also took the initiative to take care of his great-grandson and even learned how to cook." "Just him and learned to cook." Father Wu didn't show any dissatisfaction on his face, but he was disdainful in his heart. "I could easily blow up the electric pressure cooker by accident. This kid's cooking skills are probably only at the level of frying an egg, measuring water, and cooking rice." Here is where the story ends. After all, Chen Jun didn't seem to have been wronged. She spoke appropriately, she was pretty, and she was doing well in her studies and work. She was definitely more than qualified to be a daughter-in-law to the Wu family. Okay, that's it for today. Although Grandpa Wu had seen his two lovely great-grandchildren before Dad Wu came here, at the end of the video call, the old man still looked at Wu Jiangtao and Chen Jun with anticipation. "Tao Tao, Xiaorajan, please bring the baby to us when he is 1 month old." Chapter 45, Where is the little grandson? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Facing the old man's earnestness, Chen Jun took the initiative to stand up and said generously, "Grandpa, yes, we will definitely bring the baby to see you." Okay. The old man suddenly laughed happily. He was very satisfied with his granddaughter-in-law. Finally, he turned his head and looked at Wu Dad. "Be quiet, kid. It's good like this now. Control your temper, do you hear me?" "Oh, I see." Father Wu looked upset. "It's hard to guard against. I didn't expect that this brat and his mother would actually bring up the old man. What can I do?" "That's it." After hanging up the phone, Uncle Wu finally disappeared from the big screen, but Father Wu still looked unhappy, and he was still staring at Wu Jiangtao in front of him, which made the boy feel uneasy. After a moment of silence, he finally spoke stiffly. "Where is my little grandson? I want to see." "Puff!" Wu Ma burst out laughing. "This is incredible. He is the same person as the old man. Oh, here, here. Wu Jiantao hurriedly brought his father to the bedroom, where the two big babies were sleeping in a daze on the small bed. As soon as he saw the two adorable little grandchildren, the anger on Dad Wu's face immediately disappeared. He couldn't help but get closer to look at the two little babies, his eyes curved with smiles. "Little baby, Grandpa is coming." I called out softly, and my sister seemed to be disturbed. She instinctively raised her hands and waved them in the air, but she was still sleeping soundly and did not wake up. Oh my! Dad Wu's heart almost melted. He couldn't help but reach out and carefully touch the cute little hand. Almost instinctively, the little sister's hand immediately grabbed his. "Be careful, if you wake up the baby, I'll show you how I'll deal with you." Mother Wu beside him couldn't help but whispered to him. I'll be careful, I'll be careful. My brother's name is Wu Chenking, and my sister's name is Wu Peiyi." Xiaoajin came up with these names. "Chenking Peiyi?" Father Wu repeated it and nodded. "It sounds good. It echoes his father's name and has a profound meaning." At this moment, he was extremely happy. He never expected that he would become a grandfather so soon. There were so many single men and women now, and his own son looked like a loser with neither literary nor martial arts skills. He thought he would probably have to wait for several more years, or even 10 years. I didn't expect that I would have a grandson so soon. However, there were some questions he still wanted to ask Chen Jun specifically. In her explanation just now, she didn't introduce her family. No, she didn't even mention it. This is not okay. But before asking her, it's better to discuss with my wife how to tell her. When it comes to this, it was only after the old man's reminder that he realized this problem. Otherwise, he would have directly asked Chen Jun about her family situation on the spot. "Okay, the child is sleeping, so stop making noise. Let's go out first." Mother Wu pulled Father Wu and tiptoed out. At this moment, Chen Jun, who was in the living room, suddenly heard a ding on his phone. He picked it up and saw that it was a WeChat message from Li Xiaoshan. "Shanshan came to eat. My intuition tells me that you seem to need my company now." She was stunned. Before she could reply to the WeChat message, she heard the doorbell ringing. She immediately got up and opened the door, only to see her best friend standing there, looking at her with a smile. "Do you welcome me back?" Dislike. Seeing this guy's smug look, Chen Jun couldn't help but roll his eyes, but his heart was warm. That's right, if she was just facing Wu Jiantao's mother. She actually felt okay, and the pressure was not that great. Of course, the key point is that in the past few days, this elder has taken good care of her emotions and her health. Therefore, even though her relationship with Wu Jiantao was still in a delicate stage, Chen Jun didn't feel anything. But now there is another witch father. That's completely different. It seemed like there was only one more person. But as soon as Wu Dad arrived, he put a lot of pressure on everyone present, even though he was heading for Wu Jiantao. Now she was alone, facing Wu Jiantao, Wu Ma, and Wu Ba. Originally, they should have been a happy family, but now the situation was Chen Jun did not marry Wu Jiantao. This puts a lot of psychological pressure on her. From the first contact, she felt that Wu Dad was a strong person. Although this elder didn't say anything, but this kind of pressure really existed. "If you dislike it, then I'm leaving." As she spoke, Li Xiaoshan smiled wickedly, turned around and made to leave. But suddenly Chen Jun reached out his hand from behind her and pulled her, causing her to stagger. "Oops, just try one." Under the care of Wu Jiantao and Wu's mother in the past few days, Chen Jun's body has recovered a lot. The wound is almost not painful anymore. He can walk normally again and can use some strength in his hands. While the two best friends were playing around, Wu's mom, Wu's dad, and Wu Jiantao finished looking after the baby and walked out of the bedroom. Seeing Li Xiaoshan, Wu Ma immediately smiled like an auntie. "Xiaoshan, you're here. Just now I thought you had gone home." No, I just went out to answer a phone call." Thinking about this aunt introducing her nephews and nieces to her later, Li Xiaoshan felt a little nervous, but for the sake of her best friend, she was willing to give it a try. "Xiaojin is so weak now. I have to keep an eye on Jiang Tao to prevent him from bullying our Xiaojin. He dares." Mother Wu was furious and glanced at her son with a dangerous look. "Even if I gave them the courage, they wouldn't dare." Then she turned to look at Chen Jun. "Xiaojin, if this brat dares to bully you in the future, just tell me. I can deal with him without his father." She spoke to Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun, but in the end, she rolled her eyes at her husband. "Wu Dad, what do these mean? If you're talking about your son, just say he's your son. Why are you giving me that look again? What's going on?" Mom Wu never expected Dad Wu to understand the subtle change in the atmosphere in the room, but when she heard Li Xiaoshan say, for no reason, "I'm afraid Wu Jiantao will bully our Chen Jun," she immediately realized the problem. When Wu Ma, Wu Jiantao, Chen Jun, and their two babies lived in this house, they managed to maintain a delicate balance. This was a balance she achieved by being considerate and empathetic towards Chen Jun. When Li Xiaoshan appeared, this balance was undoubtedly more stable. This was why Li Xiaoshan came over despite being very uncomfortable under the control of Aunt Wu Ma. Chen Jun feels most comfortable when she is around. And now, the appearance of Father Wu, especially his menacing aura, completely broke this balance. From this perspective, what Father Wu said to him was absolutely right. Of course, this is also the difference between men and women. Women are always thoughtful, able to take care of the emotions of the young and old, and always able to coordinate all parties. At home, if the mother is suddenly absent for a while, the atmosphere at home will definitely become very different. Chapter 46. A family, please read and vote for me, Tilda. Although Li Xiaoshan is careless most of the time, she is absolutely attentive when it comes to her studies and towards her best friends. You little brat, why don't you go cook? I'm here to help take care of the kids, not to be your babysitter. The father is a cause for concern, and the son has prepared such a shocking surprise before he even graduated. Mother Wu was very unhappy and drove her son into the kitchen. I'll go. Wu Jiantao hurried to the kitchen. Let this kid cook. Father Wu frowned immediately and looked at Mother Wu. Can he do it? Don't let this kid blow up the voltage cooker later. Oh, I was wondering why I got a new electric pressure cooker when I got home yesterday. Wu Ma immediately seized his flaw and looked at him with a smile. So that's how it happened. Cough. Where's my son? What do you want me to do? Father Wu winked, indicating that there were guests present, and asked him to give me some face. But Wu Ma would not indulge him this time. Moreover, Chen Jun and Li Xiaoshan who were present were not outsiders in her eyes. She said very bluntly, Wu Zhaniang, you are good. It seems that I really took care of you too much in the past. I should let you practice well in the future. Wu Dad was immediately depressed. First he was stabbed by his father, and now he was stabbed by his wife. Damn it, if I had known, I shouldn't have followed. Well, okay, I'll go to the kitchen and take a look. I have to keep an eye on this kid, otherwise he might make some noise later. He was so upset that he turned around and left. Wu Ma continued to taunt Ping A in the living room. You might as well go and study. Read more and learn more. Don't light the gas tank when you cook next time. Wu's father felt very upset when he heard this, but he had no way to refute it. As soon as he walked into the kitchen, he saw Wu Jiantao cutting meat, and his eyes narrowed slightly. This kid, although he didn't know how to cook, he saw at a glance the unique beauty that Wu Jiantao displayed when cooking. The meat and vegetables went from the chopping board to the pot, and then out of the pot. The whole process was as smooth as flowing water, revealing a very unique rhythm. Wu Dad examined it for a long time. It's very good, but if you look closely, you can see that this kid's cooking skills are still at the stage of craftsmanship, lacking the effort of heart. In terms of this level of insight, Wu Ma is not as good as Wu Ba. I didn't expect that my son could even master this kind of cooking skills. The father was immediately surprised. It was already very good for such a young man to be able to achieve this level. In his past career, he also met a master chef. Although they only had a meal together, the taste was still deeply impressed. Dad. After finishing a dish, Wu Jiantao noticed that there was another person beside him. When he was about to serve the dish, he saw Wu's father coming over and taking it. You kid, when did you learn such good cooking skills? Not long, just the past 6 months. As he was speaking, Father Wu had already brought the dish and placed it on the dining table. Wow, it smells so good. Li Xiaoshan's voice was heard during the conversation in the living room, and he couldn't help but smile. Now it seems that there is no need to worry about this kid not being able to take care of others. His cooking skills are good, and he has also reached the level of whole strength in martial arts. His future life will definitely not be too bad. At least he will have no problem supporting his wife and children. Thinking of this, he, as a father, felt a lot more at ease. After dinner, I'll test your current boxing skills. Okay. Wu Jiantao still felt a little guilty. It was really his father's disappointed look when he was a child that left a huge psychological shadow on him. Wu Ba glanced at him. Don't worry, the matter between you and Xiaojan is over from my side. I'm just testing and guiding you. At the dinner table, in front of the relatively unfamiliar Wu Dad, Li Xiaoshan was a little bit hesitant at first. At first glance, she looked like a lady from a wealthy family. However, after a few minutes, she could no longer control herself. It's delicious, really delicious. Don't look at me, just eat. You're making me feel embarrassed. The girl devoured the twice-cooked pork and cabbage in front of her with relish. The 5 meats were cut thinly and had a soft texture. When she put them into her mouth and bit them together with the cabbage, the salty and spicy taste was just right, and paired with the sweet taste of hand-torn cabbage, it was really appetizing. This is even better than what the chef in my hometown makes. Uncle, you should try it too. Try this dish, it's the taste of my hometown. The way this girl eats can only be described as. She doesn't consider herself an outsider at all, which made Wu's father stunned. Curiously, he picked up the serving chopsticks and picked up some twice-cooked pork and cabbage. He used his own chopsticks to put a thin slice of twice-cooked pork into his mouth. The salty and spicy taste, with a hint of sweetness from the cabbage, instantly spread between his lips and teeth. It's really delicious. He quickly finished the twice-cooked pork and cabbage in the bowl. When he reached for the serving chopsticks, he was shocked to find that the dish of twice-cooked pork with stir-fried cabbage was gone. Even the soup was poured into the white rice by Lee Zayaroshan, mixed with the rice, and eaten with other dishes. Compared to this dish, the other dishes are either steamed or mixed, and are much lighter. Well, these dishes have less oil, less salt, and even no MSG. At the dinner table, dishes like stewed old duck with motherwort and fungus, steamed egg with minced meat, steamed pork liver, etc., are all specially made for Chen Jun, of course. There are several other dishes that take Chen Jun and others into consideration. For example, there is also a dish of stewed beef with radish, which combines taste and nutrition. Chen Jun can eat more of the radish in this dish, while others can eat the beef. Brush, brush, brush. It was a rare opportunity to have such a delicious meal, so Dad Wu had a big appetite and even ate several bowls of rice. That appetite? Lee Zayaroshan was dumbfounded. She only ate 2 bowls. Wait a minute. How much did I eat in this meal? Thinking about how much she had just eaten, Lee Zayaroshan couldn't help but cover her face with her hands. It's over. I ate so much again. I have to run a few more kilometers tomorrow. The girl tearfully pulled her best friend and said, "Why didn't you stop me from ordering?" Chen Jun glanced at her and said, "You can't control yourself, who can you blame?" This is the difference between Chen Jun and her. The food cooked by Wu Jiantao is delicious, but except for the first few meals when she couldn't help herself, she can now control her food intake well. Eat small meals frequently, eat less rice, eat more vegetables, and drink more soup. This will ensure you have enough nutrition for milk production and body recovery, while also controlling your weight and body shape. She is such a serious and responsible person, not only in her studies and interpersonal relationships, but also to herself. Chapter 47. Little Dowdo is good, please read and vote for me, Tilda. After dinner, Wu's mother unceremoniously sent Wu's father to wash the pots and dishes, saying that it was a practice so that he wouldn't burst the pot again when he came back home. After hearing this, Wu's father was furious, but he had no choice but to accept it. In the short term, it seems that the fact that I caused the rice cooker to explode will become a handle for my wife to use against me, and it will not be so easy to let it go. He could even imagine that whenever there was any problem at home, she would naturally involve this matter and then let him do this and that smoothly. After washing the dishes, Wu Jiantao went to the master bedroom and stayed with Chen Jun for a while. The 2 babies woke up one after another. As soon as they woke up, the whole family gathered around them, happily teasing the 2 cute little angels. I feel like my sister's eyes are bigger. Yeah, but my sister is more noisy and has a bad temper. She also sucks very hard when she's breastfeeding. I think my brother is more obedient, but he can be very annoying when he gets noisy. However, both babies look more like their mother, and their eyes are very pretty. Just follow mommy's lead, just follow mommy's lead. When they grow up, one will be tall and handsome and the other will be pretty. But his body shape is more like his father's. Look at this. Tusk, I guess he will have long legs in the future. The whole family gathered around the baby's bed and talked about everything from the 2 babies' appearance to their personality and height and body shape. Soon, the younger sister was very unhappy and gave a stinky evaluation in front of everyone. Oh my sister has poop. Lee Zayaroshan was deeply traumatized by this and quickly moved aside. Our little Dowdo is good and wants to take a bath. Dowdo is the nickname of the younger sister, and the nickname of the older brother is Mio Meow. The nicknames of the 2 cute babies combined are Du Meow. Wu Jiantao came over, picked up his sister, and walked to the bathroom in the master bedroom, where Wu's mother had already started running warm water. The belly button hasn't fallen off yet. Let me take a look first. Mom, give me the stick first. I'll disinfect my sister first. Wu Jiantao took the stick, dipped it in alcohol, and disinfected the baby's belly button and the surrounding area. At this moment, he saw his sister's belly button naturally fall out. It fell off. Wu Ma came over nervously, and Wu Jiantao quickly bent down to take a look. It was dark inside, so he carefully rubbed it with an alcohol swab and immediately scraped off some blood scabs. It's okay, it's dry here. No signs of redness or inflammation, but the blood scab here needs to be cleaned. Wu Jiantao carefully used several alcohol swabs to clean Xiao Daodu's belly button. Only then did he breathe a sigh of relief and began to change his sister's diaper, wash her butt, and wipe her body. Well, during the period before and after the baby's umbilical cord falls off, the belly button has not healed completely. Therefore, the baby can only be bathed by scrubbing and cannot be put in the bathtub to bathe, and the belly button must not be wet. Otherwise, the little guy's belly button will easily become infected and inflamed, or even fester. If it accidentally gets inflamed, it will be quite troublesome, and the couple will have to take the baby back to the hospital for treatment, and even have to give anti-inflammatory shots before the baby is full term, which is very harmful to the child's body. Therefore, the care of the belly button must be very, very, very careful. It must be observed carefully every day, cleaned and cared for carefully without any carelessness. While washing his body, Xiao Daodu started to make a fuss. He had just pooped and was feeling hungry, but there is nothing we can do about it. We have to give her a bath before we can feed her. If we feed her first, the little one's belly will be full, so we can't give her a bath right away, and we have to wait. From waking up, pooping, feeding, and finally coaxing the two babies to sleep, Wu Jiantao has begun to form a fixed rhythm for this. They now bathe their two babies every 2 days. Babies' bodies do not secrete a lot of oil and dirt like adults, so they don't need to be bathed every day. After washing the younger sister, he took her back to her mother to feed her, and then it was the brother's turn. My brother didn't poop, so he took a shower directly. His belly button hasn't fallen off yet, but it's okay. It usually falls off naturally around 7 to 10 days after being discharged from the hospital, so there's no need to rush. As time went by, although the two babies' eating and sleeping schedules were still roughly the same, differences had begun to appear, especially in their feeding times, which had begun to occasionally overlap. However, they still ate together most of the time, only their poop had started to become inconsistent. For example, now, my brother pooped after taking a bath and drinking milk. This made Wu Jiantao busy again. Father Wu, who was outside the bedroom, peeked in and was slightly stunned. This kid seems to be doing quite well. He couldn't help but think back to the time when he and Wu Ma were married and had this kid. It seemed like he was busy practicing boxing. He only stayed at home for a few days when his wife gave birth to Wu Jiantao. After that, he left his wife and child to his mother to take care of them and went out to make a living again. In his era, men were supposed to go out and earn money to support the family. The tedious household affairs such as socializing, customary rituals, and raising children were all handled by women, and men basically did not ask about them. Each era is different. Compared with now, that era was much poorer, money was harder to earn, and materials were far less abundant than they are now. Fortunately, Wu Ma was not a weak woman back then, which is why she was able to support their small family. After a while, the two big babies, who had eaten their fill and taken a bath, felt relaxed and soon fell asleep. Babies who take a bath fall asleep faster and sleep longer than at other times. Having just waited for the two little ancestors to fall asleep, Wu Jiantao nodded to Chen Jun, who stayed in the room, turned around and tiptoed out of the room. He couldn't help but looked up and yawned. It was easy to feel sleepy in the afternoon after eating and drinking too much. Is the baby asleep? Father Wu and Mother Wu in the living room turned around to look. Li Xiaoshan was there too, but she had just listened to Wu Ma's introduction of her nephew, and she felt a little shaken, but she still did not agree to the aunt's enthusiasm. Blind dates are impossible. I will never have blind dates in this life. It's not like I haven't been in love before. Although it ended tragically, I still have a bottom line. It is because of this bottom line that my life can be so colorful, and I can enjoy the eager gazes of those suitors and their nice words. I really like my current state. Okay, come over here and let me test your current boxing skills. Father Wu stood up and said calmly, go downstairs. Li Xiaoshan was stunned and looked at Wu Ma in confusion. Auntie, are you going too? Wu Ma also stood up. It's like checking homework. Oh, can I go over and take a look? Li Xiaoshan was very curious. Although there were various professional martial arts competitions on sports channels and short videos, she had always seen them through the screen, and she had mostly seen the ones in TV dramas and movies where the fighters flew all over the place with overwhelming power. In reality, she had never seen a real martial arts master. All right, Wu Ma said indifferently. What? Oh, there are some things going on at home these 2 days, and I haven't left my hometown yet. My writing state is really not good. I can only update once on the 7th and 8th of the first lunar month tilde. Soon, very soon, on the 9th day of the lunar year, I will leave my hometown and return to the city. By then, my work and life will be back on track, and I can resume posting twice a week tilde. Please bear with me tilde. Chapter 48, Examination. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. While Father Wu was testing Wu Jiangtao's current kung fu, Mother Wu and Li Xiaoshan were watching with great interest. On East Street, the busiest avenue in F-City, in the Taekwondo Hall of the F-City branch of the International Taekwondo Federation, a middle-aged man with bandages on his body and gloomy eyes was sitting with many middle-aged men with long breaths and slender bodies. They all looked at the big screen in front of the conference room with serious faces. A video is playing above. The video is not very clear, but it is roughly clear that one of the people is the middle-aged man with bandages on his body at the scene, and the other person is Wu Dad. The confrontation between the two in the video did not last long. The middle-aged man walked around the other man twice, while the other man stood there with a calm expression, without even putting up his fists. At first glance, he seemed to be full of flaws. Suddenly, the middle-aged man took a sudden step forward and kicked towards the other party with an extremely ferocious kick. At this moment, the opponent did not retreat but advanced, calmly dodged the kick and rushed forward, hitting him heavily in the chest and abdomen with a shoulder strike. The next moment, the middle-aged man turned into a black shadow and flew out of the video screen. Beep. The video ends here. The people at the scene looked at each other solemnly, and the middle-aged man with the bandages tied around his body said in a low voice, "Before coming here, I watched this video over and over again for no less than 100 times. Every time I watched it, I could clearly recall the fight with this person. I really can't tell which Chinese style of boxing he used. It can't be just a simple shoulder collision, right? Definitely not. This shoulder attack is definitely not as simple as it looks. A normal shoulder attack can knock you away and cause you such serious injuries. This is the first time I've seen it. I have never seen this before. Perhaps this is just a simple shoulder strike, but this person's martial arts must have reached an incredible level to be able to easily unleash such terrifying power." The group of people discussed this with heavy expressions and watched the video over and over again, but no one could tell where the other party came from, nor could they understand the other party's way of exerting force through the video. From China to the southern continent, and then to the Western world, martial arts did not regress with the advancement of human technology, but flourished instead. In China alone, there is the national martial arts that developed from ancient martial arts, with a wide range of traditions and a long history. There are many martial arts such as Southern Fist and Northern Leg, internal and external skills, sword and grappling, etc., which are as numerous as stars and have a long history. The reason why martial arts are booming around the world today is closely related to its professionalization, commercialization, and marketization. Although being a professional warrior is a relatively high-risk profession in the sports world right now, talented young people are still flocking to it. As long as you are strong enough, you can achieve good results in major professional competitions. As long as you have outstanding enough results, the fame and fortune brought by it will be much greater than that of the top stars in the entertainment industry. It is not a problem to compare with the top football and basketball superstars around the world. However, with the changing times, as domestic and foreign martial arts competitions have become more professional, commercialized, and have some rules on the field, they are not popular with some real martial arts masters in China. Many masters who are unwilling to go on stage to perform have chosen to remain anonymous or actively wander in special circles. That's right nowadays, whether it is domestic or international, whether it is an open tournament or a professional tournament, in the eyes of some martial artists who believe that kung fu is a killing skill, and one should cultivate righteousness through martial arts and practice it in their bodies. This so-called competition is more like a performance, a show, which is meaningless from beginning to end. Today, there is a gap between the professional martial arts circle and the martial arts world that many people are unaware of and are not aware of. Just like now, it is obvious that the professional Taekwondo masters present are quite strong and are all professionally certified fighters, but none of the people in discussion can recognize each other's origins. After much discussion, the group of people still couldn't figure out the other party's approach, but there was a basic consensus, without a doubt. This person is definitely an existence that has surpassed the professional level in the martial arts world. If nothing unexpected happens, he will definitely be a star-level martial artist, or even a master at the grandmaster level. Otherwise, how could the opponent be so light and easy to knock Li Yingshan several meters away with just a shoulder? Well, the man with bandages wrapped around his body, Li Yingshan, is the 5th-degree black belt master of Taekwondo hired by the M University Taekwondo Club. He was one of the only 3 masters in their F-City branch who were making an attempt to enter the star-level certification competition. yet he was defeated so easily by the opponent. However, a group of people were discussing this and that, but no one spoke up for Li Yingxin and said they wanted to seek justice. Everyone talks a lot, but they are also really timid. Damn it, the other party is a master above the professional level, and judging from his posture, he may be a grandmaster, looking for trouble. Stop kidding. President, what do you think? In the conference room, Li Yingxin turned around unwillingly and looked at the branch president who had remained silent. The branch president is an old man who looks about 60 years old, with black and white hair, stern eyes, and a deep demeanor. This senior is the only master among them who has obtained a star certification. When he was young, he represented the International Taekwondo Federation and competed in major martial arts open tournaments and even international professional tournaments. He won countless honors and is a respected senior master. Ahem. Hearing Li Yingxin's words, the old senior raised his eyebrows slightly and said lightly, "Shoulders and hips work together, elbows and knees work together, hands and feet work together. Capturing is static, grabbing is dynamic. Use fists first, then kicks. Once you have successfully captured, you can use weapons." Almost at the same time, in Yunlu Garden, Wu Dad was also saying this. Weapons are extensions of the hands and feet. The so-called unity of man and weapon. The so-called fist intention, sword intention, and spear intention are the unity of man and weapon. The heart and intention are united. The intention and chi are united. The chi and strength are united. The inside is yin. The outside is yang. The inside and the outside are connected as one chi. If one form is not smooth, it is difficult to practice other forms. Wu's father said calmly, "How much do you think you understand about this sentence now? Shoulders and hips are aligned. Elbows and knees are aligned. Hands and feet are aligned." Wu Jiantao said respectfully, "Very good." Father Wu said in a deep voice, "Although the professional martial arts nowadays use whole strength as a realm to define professional martial artists, it is actually just a kind of strength. The so-called release of strength means that the strength comes from the bones and the strength is stored in the tendons. The storage of strength is like drawing a bow, and the release of strength is like releasing an arrow. Seek straightness in the curve. The storage of strength requires the control of the body shape and mind at all times. When walking, sitting, or lying down, the mind is focused on the body shape. You can focus on one side, or you can disperse it into the body instinct. Chapter 49, What Did You Eat? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Wu Jiantao seemed to understand his father's instructions, but Wu Ba did not explain further. He left it to the boy to slowly understand these words as he continued to practice. What is the foundation building power of our Wu family's Xinyiquan? Sinking force. How do you achieve the sinking force? Father Wu asked in a deep voice. The mind is as clear as a mirror, the chi flows smoothly, and the body is steady. Sinking and falling do not depend on opening and closing, but on the coordination of inside and outside, on the contraction and expansion, and on the rise and fall. Almost without thinking, Wu Jiantao recited this family secret. The sinking of the body is not difficult. He can now display the sinking force by just making a boxing stance. He can use this body force to burst out various forces such as tension force, inch force, spiral force, etc. And this is the strongest point of the whole strength, which can burst out strength and power far beyond what ordinary people can achieve, and can even break gold and stone with amazing power. It is not without reason that the martial arts professional rating uses it as the career threshold. After entering this level, the martial artist can fully mobilize the strength throughout his body, and his body reaction, strength, and explosive power will increase exponentially. His punches and kicks will naturally be powerful, and it is normal for ordinary people to be injured or die from a single hit. However, even so, a professional warrior with great strength would definitely die miserably in front of a true master. This is because professional warriors at this stage still need to coordinate their body movements in order to store energy and burst out various forces instantly. As for the real masters, they are accumulating strength while walking, sitting, or lying down, because at their stage, the accumulation of strength has become the instinct of the heart. There is no need to think about it or do it deliberately. It will naturally become the instinct of the body. The strength at this stage is meant to be invisible and unrestrained, no longer restricted by the external form of the boxing stance. This is what is meant by being carried away by success, and this is called the transformation of strength. In this test, Wu's father gave Wu Jiantao a failing grade. There are 3 reasons. First, he didn't know how to restrain his strength, and his power was rough. Second, his strength was complete but not round. Third, this was the point that made Wu Ba the most speechless. This kid's strength and power are not in line with each other. It's not that the force is not enough, but that the force is too strong and too stretched. This is why this kid can't restrain his force and his force is rough. Seeing this situation, Both Wu's father and Wu's mother beside him were a little confused. It was Chen Jun who gave birth to the child, not this boy. She is already in her 20s, can her body still grow again? In response to this, the couple worked together to check the boy's body and bones, and found that he had indeed grown taller and his physical strength had increased a lot. His basic physical strength is even stronger than that of ordinary professional warriors, which means that this guy can fight against professional warriors with just his lateral force, even without using any strength. After a thorough examination, Mr. and Mrs. Wu looked at their son as if he were an alien. What was going on? Did you eat any rare treasures, kid? Wu's father couldn't help but complain, and at the same time he secretly complained in his heart. If this happened when he was in his teens, this kid would have to accept his devilish teachings no matter how reluctant he was. He must make him practice. With such a good physical foundation, it would be a pity not to practice martial arts. This, I don't have it. Wu Jiantao scratched his head. It was obvious that the basic genetic results of the system had begun to show up gradually. This transformation was subtle, and he himself didn't feel anything. By the way, the transformation is still ongoing, and his body will be even stronger when it is completed. This is just basic genetic modification. What if it is more advanced? It was when Father Wu was testing him that he keenly noticed that there was something wrong with his power generation, and after checking, he discovered the source of the problem. Real? Wu Dad looked at him in confusion, feeling that this kid wasn't telling the truth. But what else could one eat in today's world to make his body grow so fast? Anyway, he has been in the world for decades and has never heard of or seen such a thing. The situation happening to his son is probably the only one of its kind in the world. I'm also very surprised. In fact, if you hadn't tested me today, I wouldn't have realized it myself. This was true. Wu Jiantao knew that his parents would see through his lie, so he just told the truth. However, his parents could not find any flaws and could only attribute it to coincidence or some unknown adventure. Father Wu pointed to a stone chair next to a stone table and said, "Try to lift this stone." Wu Jiantao stepped forward, but was surprised to see that there were 5-finger-sized holes on the side of the stone pier, which were just big enough to lift it up by reaching in. He reached in and grabbed it, and with a little force he lifted the stone pillar. Is it so light? Li Ziaoshan, who was standing next to him, was completely stunned. She had just watched the entire test from beginning to end. She understood every word that Wu's father had said, but she couldn't understand the combination of the two. What was this strength and that strength? Was there a difference between strength and force? Aren't they the same? She walked over and kicked one of the stone chairs. It was very hard. Like Wu Jiantao, she tried to lift it up, but she was unable to shake the stone chair that weighed 200 or 300 kilograms. Is this something a human can do? If people knew that I advised Zyarajan not to be with him, would he beat the shit out of me? Li Ziaoshan suddenly felt a little panicked. What? On the other side, the International Taekwondo Federation, F-City branch, has a gym. After listening to what the president said just now, everyone present was confused, but there was no doubt that he was talking about the internal martial arts that are still popular in China. As soon as he finished speaking, the branch president reached out and took the mouse and clicked it. The image on the big screen also stayed at the moment when the opponent knocked Li Yingshan away with a shoulder. Look at his body shape at this moment. Are his shoulders, elbows, and knees all in one line? The Taekwondo masters present at the scene only then discovered this unusual point. President, do you mean that the opponent is from China's internal martial arts? The branch president nodded and said in a concentrated voice, "Very strong. This person is very strong, at least I am ashamed of myself." What? Everyone at the scene was stunned, and Li Yingshan's face fell. Where could he find a place to beat up a master who was stronger than the president? The old man also looked at him and said, "Yingshan, since this person can fight against you, you should know some information about his identity. He is the father of a student at M University. I had to confront him because of Chen Mei." Li Yingshan recounted the whole incident in detail. Oh. The branch president frowned immediately. Chen Mei seemed quite reliable in the past. Not only was he good at studying, he also showed extraordinary talent in Taekwondo. Who would have thought that he had this side? I would like to clarify that the martial arts in this book are only used to advance the plot and for the protagonist's counterattack. The theme is still love and daily life with children. There are more descriptions of martial arts now because the details need to be well done. There will not be so many in the future. Thank you, Tilda. Chapter 50, we are just ordinary people. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. President, this is not Zio Chen's fault. At that time, even I didn't realize that he possessed such martial arts skills. Forget it. The old man shook his head and said calmly, If I'm not mistaken, this should be Chinese Xingyiquan. Xingyiquan? Is this Xingyiquan? Some of these Taekwondo masters couldn't believe it. After all, they are also in the professional martial arts circle in the martial arts world, so they naturally know this famous one of the pillars of China's internal martial arts. Even in the professional arena, there are Xingyiquan masters whose movements are swift and sudden. They are courageous and have amazing explosive power. Their record in the professional arena is pretty good, but just good. In their impression, there are no masters in China's Xingyiquan or even internal martial arts, because they do not have any dazzling results in international professional competitions, which is nothing compared to their impressive achievements in Taekwondo in major international open competitions. Moreover, over the past 10 or 20 years, through the operation of the Great Han Kingdom, Taekwondo has been included in the Olympic Games for many years, and its influence worldwide is profound. Look at the country next door, Japan. After years of efforts, they have not made karate an Olympic event. However, they don't know that the Chinese professional martial arts circle is only a small part of the Chinese martial arts world. There are more masters who have achieved success in martial arts, but are arrogant and unwilling to adapt to the so-called marketization and internationalization, and are unwilling to participate in such professional competitions with too many restrictions. Among them, most of them went to the military and the security bureau, while some liked to compete without any restrictions and went to the southern continent to risk their lives. Li Yingshan, I advise you not to provoke the other party again. Although the branch president had always been a professional martial artist when he was young, he was fortunate enough to meet real martial artists in the southern continent. Although their strength levels were similar, the ruthlessness and ferocity of the opponent's first attack was too terrifying. He was defeated in just 2 or 3 rounds. In the world's professional martial arts competitions, although Chinese martial artists do not show their prowess, he knows that professional martial arts is just the iceberg above the water in the martial arts world. Under the water is the truly cruel martial arts world with countless masters and hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Hearing the branch president's words, Li Yingshan's expression changed slightly, but he didn't say much. What? Yunlu Garden. Xiaojun, what on earth are you thinking? Li Xiaoshan, who had just entered the room, came up to Chen Jun and closed the information she was reading without saying anything. Tell me why you want to be with Wu Jiangtao. Their family is not simple. I'm worried that you will suffer. Chen Jun looked puzzled. What on earth do you want to say? You did this to get away from your family. I can't imagine what would happen if my uncle and aunt knew about it. Chen Jun's lips curled up slightly, and he said calmly, I let them hold their grandchildren at such a young age. They should be happy. Li Xiaoshan covered her face. Forget it, let's not talk about this. What about the future? What are your plans next? Taking care of the baby and working. She was as concise as ever. Li Xiaoshan. No. Yeah, that's it. Chen Jun pulled her claws away and wanted to continue reading the information, but Li Xiaoshan covered them with her hands again. But, what about your relationship with him? Is it so unclear? You didn't get a marriage certificate and there is no guarantee. What if he doesn't want to take responsibility in the future? Whether he is responsible or not is his business. I never intended to count on him from the beginning. It is enough for me to do my job well. Get out of here. Chen Jun chased the guy away and continued to look through the documents. That won't work. You'll suffer a great loss. Li Xiaoshan was gesticulating in front of her in an exaggerated manner. Just now downstairs, such a big stone pillar must weigh at least 200 pounds, but Wu Jiangtao and his father just picked it up and carried it with no effort. It was so scary. Just now in the elevator, I asked Uncle Wu if they were a martial arts family. Guess what he said? Chen Jun ignored her. He actually said, we are just an ordinary family. Li Xiaoshan was a little mad after being stimulated. How can an ordinary person have such power? It's unbelievable. Hey, Xiaojun, are you listening to me? I know he is very strong in martial arts. Then why don't you tell me? You didn't ask. Li Xiaoshan? I might have misjudged such an important parameter without knowing it, sister. Forget it. Anyway, I, with my insignificant arms and legs, dare not get involved in your and Wu Jiangtao's affairs. Chen Jun recalled the past. Ever since Wu Jiangtao rushed out and risked his life to bring the child back last time, she knew that Wu Jiangtao was not a simple person, and the Wu family was not a simple person either, but she had never felt the kind of worry her best friend mentioned. Excessive force is certainly a potential threat and deterrent, but it is more likely to be a powerful protection. That day, when Wu Jiangtao came back with a faint smell of blood and 2 babies in her arms, her heart was filled with an unprecedented sense of security. Later, she used her mobile phone to search for the hot news in F City. and indeed saw the video of Wu Jiangtao's pursuit with the traffickers on the road. Seeing him almost being thrown off the roof of the van, Chen Jun's heart tightened for some reason. At that moment, she didn't know whether she was worried about Wu Jiangtao being thrown off and injured, or worried that he would be thrown off and not be able to grab the other person and save the baby. After returning home, Wu Jiangtao first went to the kitchen to check on the soup that was cooking. Seeing that nothing was wrong, he turned around and went to the master bedroom. As soon as he entered the room, he felt something was odd between the two best friends. Of course, Chen Jun was still looking through the project materials she brought back from the research institute with a calm face. The odd one was naturally Li Xiaoshan, who was sitting in front of the baby's bed angrily. Are these two best friends having a quarrel? It was fine before. He was a little confused. Naturally, he didn't know that it was the first time that Li Xiaoshan advised Chen Jun not to be with him that caused the trouble. Speaking of emotional fluctuations, Chen Jun certainly had them too, especially when she got up at night. She was in a very bad mood and even spoke rudely to Wu Jiangtao several times. Wu Jiangtao can understand this. After giving birth, the mother's body hormones will drop sharply in a very short period of time, which will cause endocrine disorders. Therefore, the endocrine system cannot return to normal in a short period of time. In the case of endocrine disorders, women's emotions can become difficult to control, and their mood swings can often be dramatic. But Wu Jiangtao discovered that, ever since Li Xiaoshan brought her the project information from the Research Institute, her emotions have miraculously stabilized, just like a magic needle that stabilizes the stormy sea. He shook his head gently and did not rashly intervene between the two best friends. Instead, he came to the two babies and saw at a glance that the color of the stripes on the front of the two babies' diapers had completely changed from blue to green. This is because the babies have peed a lot, and it's time to change into dry diapers. Chapter 51, it looks simple to me. Please read it and give me a monthly ticket, Tilda. He bent down and sniffed, but didn't smell any foul smell, so he probably didn't poop. However, Wu Jiangtao still stretched out a finger and scratched the back of his butt to take a look, and only then did he finally confirm that there was no poop. Come, Daddy will change your diapers. Come, brother will go first. Wu Jiangtao had just untied his brother's warm and thick diaper, and before he could take it away, Li Xiaoshan, who was standing next to him, looked eager to try. Jiangtao, how about letting me change it and give it a try? It looks very simple to me. I also watched you when you were teaching Xiaoshan before. I also watched you guys change several times. I am very familiar with the steps. That's fine too. Wu Jiangtao moved aside, and Li Xiaoshan came over with great interest, carefully took off the diaper, grabbed her brother's ankles with one hand, and gently lifted them up. When the baby's buttocks slightly left the mattress, she immediately put a new diaper in with quick eyes and hands, just right between the baby's back and hips. Good. Wu Jiangtao was a little surprised that this girl learned it very well the first time she tried it. Of course, changing diapers doesn't require much technical skills. Hey, Li Xiaoshan was very proud. It's that simple. You'd better move faster, otherwise my oatmeal might. Wu Jiangtao just gave a reminder, and when Li Xiaoshan was about to start sticking the Velcro, she saw her brother's water gun slightly raised. Not good. Careful. Wu Jiangtao immediately noticed something was wrong, and Li Xiaoshan was actually changing her diaper while turning around and winking at Chen Jun. Look, I can change diapers too. Pud. Sizzle. Wu Jiangtao covered his face. Chen Jun, who was sitting at the desk, looked up and immediately leaned back instinctively. He subconsciously raised his hands to block in front of him with a look of astonishment and lingering fear. Speaking of which, Chen Jun, a new mother, also encountered this situation at midnight yesterday. Yes, that's right. At that time, the new mother's instinct was to stretch out her hands to block it in vain. The mother collapsed on the spot, threw the diaper in her hand aside, left her two babies behind, and staggered to the bathroom. Later, it was only with Wu Jiangtao's mediation that she regained her normal state of mind. Well, Chen Jun could only give herself self-suggestion and comfort. This is my son's urine. It doesn't have any smell and is not dirty at all. It's not dirty at all. At this moment, in front of the baby's bed, Li Xiaoshan, who suffered the same treatment, was confused. Where does the water come from? It can't be. She turned back with a dull look on her face and wiped the water. The next moment, Li Xiaoshan jumped up and just started to scream, but she saw Chen Jun put his index finger in front of his mouth, signaling her not to make a sound. Only then did he suppress his urge to scream. Woo. The guy whimpered and turned left, then right, before suddenly rushing towards the bathroom. Wu Jiantao walked forward wordlessly and began to clean up the mess in front of him. Well, just now this brat not only peed all over his aunt, but also soaked the blanket and the bed sheet. Well. Unfortunately, although Li Xiaoshan suppressed her scream, the first scream still scared her sister so much that she shivered and then started crying. As for her brother, he happened to be in his father's arms. Although his little hands trembled with fear, he grabbed the familiar arms and calmed down immediately. Chen Jun reluctantly put down the project information on the table, hurried over to pick up his sister, skillfully unzipped his chest, opened the warehouse and put out food to relieve his crying. Ahem. The baby held the granary in his mouth and immediately sucked it instinctively, calming down. It has been proven that this method is the most effective way to soothe a crying baby, and it can also resolve the baby's fear and anxiety. At the same time, it can also easily make the baby dependent. Xiaojun, don't let her drink too much milk, otherwise it will disrupt her eating habits. On the side, after putting her brother in a dry position on the baby's bed, Wu Jiantao hurried over. Oh. Chen Jun realized this problem, but his sister sucked so hard that he couldn't withdraw for a while. Let me do it. Wu Jiantao was well prepared. He reached out and carefully put his fingers into the baby's mouth. Wu. Chen Jun was stunned at first, and then her face, which looked like an orchid in a valley, turned red instantly, while Wu Jiantao turned around and walked away as if nothing had happened. In an instant, the whole room fell into an eerie silence. Chen Jun was really feeling shy and awkward. Her face was flushed as she stood there, while someone else was feeling so guilty that he didn't even have the courage to look at her. He turned around and concentrated on coaxing the baby to sleep. On the other side, Li Xiaoshan walked out of the bathroom feeling uncomfortable. Her face was washed clean, but her body was also covered with a lot of urine. She felt a little broken. As soon as she came out, she was surprised to find Chen Jun standing by the bed, his face flushed, and even with wisps of white smoke coming out of his head. What is going on? Li Xiaoshan came over and kept looking at Chen Jun. No, I was just away for a while. You just got steamed from the steamer or something. It's already red and it's smoking. What's the matter? That. Wu Jiantao changed his sister's diaper again and finally looked back at Li Xiaoshan. Xiaoshan, can you go out for a while? I have something to say to Xiaojun. Hey, you're still whispering. Li Xiaoshan looked at Chen Jun and Wu Jiantao back and forth. A sly smile appeared on her face, but she felt a little uneasy in her heart. Is my best friend going to fall for her? No way. It's only been a few days. Is it so fast? Okay, I'll go out. Wu Jiantao, I know you are a kung fu master, but you are not allowed to bully our Xiaojun. Do you hear me? Otherwise, I will not forgive you. Li Xiaoshan waved her fist at him fiercely, but was thinking about what to do. In her opinion, the man who could be a good match for our Xiaojun should be the kind of person who is gentle, considerate, tall, and handsome. The most important point is that they should be promising young people who are willing to devote themselves to science like them. Two people in love belong to the same field, so they have common topics. Even if life occasionally has some bumps, as long as they have the same spiritual ideals, their souls will be extremely close and even resonate with each other, and their lives will be harmonious, peaceful, and quiet. As Li Xiaoshan walked out of the door, something seemed wrong on her face, and she revealed a somewhat silly smile. I was delayed by something at noon today. Tilda, the update is back to normal. Tilda, I'm back in the city. If nothing unexpected happens, I'll update twice. It's a big hit on the shelves. Please support me, Tilda. Come and vote for me, Tilda. Chapter 52, Who Arranges Who? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Outside in the living room, Wu Ma, who was practicing martial arts, caught a glimpse of the silly smile on the girl's face. Look at the way she smiles. Is Xiaoshan crazy? No, I have to call Xiao Wang and ask him to come over, otherwise such good cabbage. Bah, if it's a girl, it will end up in someone else's pot. Although she thought so, Wu Ma still stood steadily on the balcony. She was standing motionless, but with her breathing, her waist, abdomen, and back floated gently, as if the undercurrent was surging in the deep of a great river. What? In the room, Wu Jiantao carefully sat down in front of Chen Jun, thought for a moment, and said very sincerely, Just now, I was a little abrupt. Sorry, there won't be a next time. If you want to hit me or scold me, I will accept it. At this moment, Chen Jun, who had calmed down, looked at him indifferently. That look made Wu Jiantao inexplicably uneasy. After a long time, she finally spoke very calmly. If there is a similar situation next time, please tell me in advance. Wu Jiantao was stunned. This answer was different from what he had imagined. And, there will be a next time. If I were to apologize. Chen Jun hesitated for a moment but continued. I should be the one to apologize. It was my willfulness that led to today's situation. Now that everything was said and done, Chen Jun decided to start telling Wu Jiangtao about her family background and the reasons for the current situation. Well, Li Xiaoshan had already told her several times in secret, and Wu's mother had asked about it several times, so she had been looking for an opportunity to tell Wu Jiangtao. Anyway, it will have to be told sooner or later. Even if I don't, the Wu family will find out sooner or later. Instead of that, it is better for me to announce it honestly first. Now is the right time. As Chen Jun continued to tell the story, Wu Jiangtao also got to know more about what kind of person this goddess from M University was like. To be able to raise such an outstanding girl, her family must be quite extraordinary. Her father, Chen Chu, worked in a confidential scientific research unit in Kyoto, and from her description, he seemed to have a very high status. Her mother, Mo Wan, was the chairman of a listed group company and a well-known entrepreneur in China. "Oh, then why did you come to me?" Wu Jiangtao asked, secretly recalling in his heart whether he had ever met her when he got up early in the morning to go to the gym to run and practice boxing. It seemed that he had not met her. Then how did she see his agile figure and eight-pack abs? "Because," Chen Jun blushed, "the others are too familiar with me, it's hard to start with." That's right, it was really the male friends around Chen Jun she was too familiar with them, which allowed Wu Jiangtao to take advantage of the opportunity. And from the beginning, she had no intention of telling the person who did it to her. She planned to give birth to the child by herself, raise the child by herself, and be a single mother. However, an accident happened during the journey, and I didn't plan to tell my family, so I had to contact Wu Jiangtao again. Actually, you should remember that day at Hall's Hotel, right? I just calculated my ovulation date, took some of that from you, and then Originally, the probability of pregnancy was very, very low, but I didn't expect to actually get pregnant. No wonder I said it was so big. How come I don't have any impression at all? No wonder I searched my whole brain, but I can only remember this, and there is no follow-up. Wu Jiangtao was speechless for a while. As the saying goes, boys should be careful to protect themselves when they go out. Then, why did you fall out with your family? Actually, if the family members talk it out, everything will be fine. After all, having a child is such a big deal. Wu Jiangtao had a headache. Although she had anticipated that she might have some conflicts with her family, in the current situation, there was no doubt that her family was a huge thunderbolt that could explode at any time. It's not like she didn't protest and tried to talk it out with her parents, but Chen's mother first said, "We're doing this for your own good," and then said, "It's not like we didn't give you the opportunity to choose. We've arranged several options for you. Pick and choose, it's your own decision. We won't interfere, you're free." "They want to arrange my marriage," Chen Jun said calmly. "Then I will arrange a grandchild for them." Wu Jiangtao, "Okay." They arranged a marriage for me, and I arranged grandchildren for them. These words sounded quite domineering. Anyway, he was stunned. Then he couldn't help but cover his face. He had always thought that he was the one in the wrong, but it turned out that. Wu Jiangtao almost shed tears when he learned the truth. "That?" Chen Jun blushed and looked at him with some shame. "I'm sorry. I was just impulsive at that time. But later I found out that I was really pregnant. I wanted to have an abortion, but the doctor advised me that the baby's heartbeat was almost there, and they were twins. If I had an abortion this time, I would have a chance to get pregnant again in the future, but there would be risks. Originally, it would be fine for Wu Jiangtao to just say, 'It's okay,' and comfort her in return. But at this critical moment, for some unknown reason, he suddenly blurted out, 'Your apology is insincere.' Chen Jun, she was a little surprised. In her impression, Wu Jiangtao seemed to be easy to talk to, very kind, and easy to get along with. Well, he was a good person in every aspect. It was a bit surprising to hear such a sentence suddenly. But Chen Jun didn't realize that by being honest and open, someone's true nature began to be exposed. "Then, what kind of sincerity do you want?" she asked as seriously and responsibly as always. "Then I have to think about it." Wu Jiangtao looked straight at him, which made Chen Jun feel uneasy. His face turned slightly red, and he quickly said, "You can't make excessive demands. You have to say what I can do. My request is..." More than half an hour passed. Knock, knock, knock. Outside the master bedroom door, Li Xiaoshan knocked on the door. "Are you guys done whispering? Can I come in?" In her definition, although this room has two big treasures, it is still Chen Jun's boudoir. Since it is a boudoir as a best friend, she can enter and leave the room freely. "Come in." Chen Jun's low voice came from the room. Li Xiaoshan immediately knew something was wrong and pushed the door open. She saw Chen Jun sitting at the desk, looking down at the research project materials. The frightening blush on her face had not yet faded. At the same time, white smoke rose from her head. Oh, there's smoke again. Li Xiaoshan looked at her best friend, feeling a little anxious. She then looked at Wu Jiantao, who was taking care of two babies on the other side, and found that he was changing the mattress of the babies' beds calmly. Just now, her brother Mio's pee not only peed on someone, but also wet the mattress, which needed to be changed and washed. Well, he just received compensation that was reasonable, legal, beneficial, and appropriate, and he was very happy. Chapter 53. The Origin. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. What did you just say? Li Xiaoshan glanced at Wu Jiantao warily, then approached her best friend and asked her a direct question. Hey, isn't it a bad idea to ask me this directly in front of me? Wu Jiantao felt a little guilty, but when he thought about what Chen Jun had said before, he suddenly felt confident again. After all, we suffered a great loss in this matter. The request just now was just a simple request for some compensation, which is not excessive at all. The blush on her face slowly faded away. Chen Jun was still Chen Jun after all, and she had calmed down. Fine. The M-level goddess didn't even bother to look at the project documents. She just talked about some things about my family. Oh my, aunt, you finally said it. You don't know, your mother called me several times to ask if you have returned to China. I have been trying to smooth things over for you. It made me panic. When are you going to tell your family? I can't hold on any longer. When it comes to this, Li Xiaoshan suddenly feels very upset. That's right. The reason why Chen Jun's family had been kept in the dark until now was because her family had always believed that it was Chen Jun who went to the United States for exchange and study. Being in a foreign country, she naturally has less contact with her family. Her parents would at most call her a few times to ask about her work and life. Taking advantage of this incident, Chen Jun made clear arrangements for their grandchildren. Of course, her best friend Li Xiaoshan provided cover. For example, you can log into Chen Jun WeChat account in the United States and post something to your moments. While doing these things, Chen Jun was afraid of affecting her best friend's research, study, and project exchanges, so she did not tell her the real reason. It was not until she returned to China that she stopped hiding the truth. Explain. Chen Jun didn't even raise his head. Why should I say it? You haven't said anything yet. Li Xiaoshan was stunned. Chen Jun smiled and said, Believe it or not, if I bring these two babies home now and stay for a few days before coming back, my parents may not even know. Forehead. Li Xiaoshan was stunned but still advised. Don't be like this. They are just too busy with work, but they still care about you. Aunt Mo often calls me to ask about your recent situation. In response, Chen Jun smiled and didn't say much. Even if her mother called Li Xiaoshan to ask about her situation, she would probably just ask her if any boys approached her, whether she was in a relationship, and what the other person's name was. Her mother would definitely find out about any male friends she had contact with through Li Xiaoshan or her tutor, and then conduct various investigations, and finally call her. What are you talking about? First, tell yourself the family background, assets, etc. of the boy who is closest to you. And this is just the beginning. Next, there is a sufficiently objective and rational analysis of his original family, which in turn leads to the argument of the good or bad character and personality of the person. These are not nonsense, but the results of analysis by the top psychological masters. In Chen Jun's opinion, whether the president of this listed group company is busy or not is a bit like Schrödinger's cat. She was clearly so busy that she could only go home once every few days, and the mother and daughter could only talk on the phone once a week. But as long as a boy appeared in front of her, she would find time to call him, and then talk for half an hour or even an hour without stopping. But in the end, these boys are all unqualified, unable to give themselves a perfect love, unable to give themselves a happy marriage, and so on. In junior high and high school, dating is not allowed, and all kinds of prohibitions are strictly enforced. Although Chen Jun felt resentful at the time, it seems understandable now. However, her mother's actions in the past few years have made her very annoyed. During the past few years of studying at M University and even working at the Research Institute, Chen Jun had met outstanding boys who moved her heart. However, before anything even started, she gave up halfway because of her mother's intervention. She even lost many normal friends. For example, my junior classmate Chen Mei. When the student union president appeared in front of her for the first time and talked with her about academic and learning experiences, she received a call from her mother the next day. Well, Mr. Mo's final evaluation of him is, he is scheming and has some means but no wisdom. He may have a sweet love, but he will definitely not have a happy marriage. Chen Mei didn't know that even if this incident hadn't happened, he and Chen Jun wouldn't be able to. Except for this guy, All the boys who got close to Chen Jun ended up like this. Among them, there was even a boy that Chen Jun had a good impression of. The comments given by the so-called professional psychologist hired by Mo Wan rarely include positive words such as sincere, but the next sentence is too naive, too trusting, and unwilling to adapt. Lee Xiaoshan, her best friend, also knew all of this. It can be said that a large part of the credit for Chen Jun remaining single from college to when she started working can be attributed to her mother, Mo Wan. This is why Chen Jun chose a stranger to help him arrange a grandchild for his parents. She didn't like to lie, and it was just that she was too familiar with him to be taken advantage of. Chen Jun knew too much about a man's family background, academic performance, character, and so on, so she didn't even have a boy around her who was suitable, so she had to look far away. It just so happened that day, she went to Hall's bar and picked and chose. Well, this boy is tall and looks pretty good, so I'll pick him. Anyway, I just want to arrange for a good grandson for my parents. I don't plan to get married, so it's enough if he looks handsome and the baby isn't too ugly. Originally, this would be a perfect plan, however. She made a big mistake. That is, when entering the delivery room, a direct relative or the father of the child needs to sign. As the sun sets, Dad Wu finally embarks on his journey home, and Mom Wu personally escorts him downstairs. Wife Xiaojan's family? It's not a good idea to keep it to ourselves. I think it's best to discuss it with her and her family. Then we can sit down and have a good discussion with her family. That's what I said, but Wu Ma was somewhat helpless. It might be hard to communicate with her family. Not really. Father Wu's brows darkened slightly. Now that we have a child, I think that Brat and Xiaojan get along well. Even if Xiaojan doesn't want to marry Xiaotao for the time being, we won't say much. These can be discussed, but the two children, at least they have to be together so that we can take care of them, okay? Chapter 54 post. Please read and vote for me, tilde. As for her family, I used some connections and found out some information. Wu Ma said calmly. Her father's name is Chen Chu, and he is the vice president of a research institute in Kyoto, and her mother's name is Mo Wan. Wu's father frowned slightly. This name sounds familiar. Well, she is the chairman of Fei Yun Group. The couple talked all the way and communicated their views on this major event that their son encountered. They reached a consensus on the general direction, which was to let their son fulfill his duties as a father and de facto husband and take good care of his wife and children. As for other things, they should just watch from the sidelines for now and not intervene too much. All right. Before leaving, Father Wu wanted to say something, but Mother Wu stuffed him into the taxi unhappily. I know everything. You should take care of the martial arts gym first. You don't have to worry about this. I'll take care of it. In fact, Dad Wu really wanted to stay. He had only hugged his little grandson twice, and he still hadn't had enough. But his appearance has brought a lot of pressure to Chen Jun. Wu's mother specifically told him about this in the afternoon, and Wu's father also understood it, so he could only go home alone in disappointment. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for changing the baby's diaper 100 times. Reward, 100,000 RMB. Reward distribution instructions. The operation process for receiving rewarded stocks has been issued. Please check it in time and strictly follow the system instructions. In a blink of an eye, it has been a week since she was discharged from the hospital. Chen Jun's body has recovered well. She no longer feels the pain from the abdominal wound when walking, sitting, or lying down. Wu Jiantao has earned more than 500,000 yuan through virtual currency and stocks by taking care of her and her two babies and receiving rewards from the system. Ding dong, the primary transformation of the host's body genes has been completed. Please experience the specific optimization effects yourself. Hearing this, Wu Jiantao, who was quietly practicing martial arts in the living room, slowly opened his eyes and exhaled. The breath was so strong that it made the green plants outside rustle. Standing up straight, a look of joy appeared on Wu Jiantao's face. Very good. Next, I can start to practice my skills further. Your breath is very long. I will guide you in your subsequent practice. Wu's mother came back just in time and was a little surprised to see her son exhaling. Well, thanks, Mom. Wu Jiantao grinned. Mother Wu was speechless. Although she didn't know why this brat's physical condition had improved so amazingly, after a careful examination, she and Father Wu didn't find anything wrong. On the contrary, the strength of his body, bones, and internal organs exceeded the imagination of the couple, and the potential he possessed was absolutely the most amazing they had ever seen, without a doubt. The disturbance caused by Chen Jun at M University has gradually subsided, and now few people on the forum are paying attention to this matter. Yes, as she and Wu Jiantao appeared in Yunlu Garden and were met by more and more M University students, those so-called rumors on the internet gradually became true. The truth is the truth, and it is not subject to human will. Therefore, the M University Forum has become a sad place for many boys, and this has even led to a sharp drop in the number of active users on the forum. The original monthly active users, which were 2,000 to 3,000, suddenly dropped to only a few hundred. The college's operations manager almost cried along with the fans of the M Goddess. To this end, the forum operators also try their best to discover and plan various interesting stories and gossips in the college. Of course, these gossips cannot involve personal privacy or cause bad public impact. Otherwise, they will not only not get to eat the mutton, but also get into trouble. In order to restore the activity of the forum, the operator tried every possible means and even launched a selection campaign for the M University's new generation goddess. However, this grand event received few responses, and the place was still filled with sadness. There is no way. Although Chen Jun is gone and has become a memory, the beautiful impression she left on M University is too profound and is a peak that other girls cannot surpass. It was at this time that a stir arose on the M University forum. A post titled, "Chen Jun is a mistress. Wu Jiangtao's ex-girlfriend Lu Wanner was stolen away. Let me tell you about the past that you don't know," suddenly appeared on the college forum. As soon as this post appeared, the originally peaceful night suddenly became a huge sensation. The entire M University was in an uproar after it spread from one person to 10 to 100, and even students from other colleges in the university town came to join in the fun. How good is Chen Jun's talent and appearance? It's not just at M University. It can be said that there is almost no young man in the entire university town of F City who doesn't know her. The content disclosed in this post not only pushed Wu Jiangtao to the forefront again, but also made Lu Wanner famous. The post was illustrated with pictures and text, revealing that just over half a month ago, Wu Jiangtao's ex-girlfriend Lu Wanner appeared at Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital, suspected of being pregnant. Suspected. That's it. At the end of the post, the poster asked a final question. If Lu Wanner is pregnant, whose child is it? He also appealed that if in the whole incident, some people did things that were deceitful and beastly in human clothing, some people were abandoned and suffered injustice, and some people were kept in the dark, then we should stand up, uphold justice, and restore peace to the world. In this post, the poster was just short of scolding Wu Jiangtao by name for abandoning his lover in order to be with Chen Jun. It has to be said that this post was very inflammatory. After reading this post, all the boys in M University were shocked. Oh my God, Lu Wanner is pregnant too. Is this true? Fuck you, Wu Jiangtao is such a scumbag, and he actually has another one. Damn it, I can't understand why Chen Jun wants to be with such a scumbag. What are his strengths? What the hell? For a time, the M University forum was abuzz with emotion, and thousands of people flocked in instantly. Some doubted the authenticity of the post, some directly scolded Wu Jiangtao, and some spoke up for the goddess in their hearts, grieving her misfortune and being angry at her for not considering themselves. There are many, many more. Regardless, Wu Jiangtao once again sparked public outrage and was once again criticized online, but this time was different from the last time. It exploded. Although the post was deleted the next day for violating personal privacy, the content of the post had already spread and began to spread like a virus in WeChat groups and moments. From last night to today, Wu Jiangtao's cell phone number has been receiving WeChat messages, text messages, and even phone calls from unknown sources. As soon as he picked up the phone, he would start asking all kinds of friendly questions about the women in his family and even his ancestors, and even threaten him physically. Chapter 55, Fermentation. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. There is no doubt that he suffered cyber violence. Wu Jiangtao found it quite novel at first, but as more and more insults came through the internet, the scope of their attacks began to expand. He really didn't care about those sharp words directed at him personally, such as calling him a scumbag, a man without humanity, or even a bastard. However, as these moralists opened fire, they gradually began to cover his parents and even called Chen Jun a bitch, and even called him and Chen Jun's two babies bastards who should be wiped out from this world. He couldn't stand it. In just 2 or 3 hours, this online storm began to deviate in an uncontrollable direction. Even the instigator hiding in M University did not anticipate it. When the storm spread to the entire internet, netizens who transformed themselves into moralists not only rushed towards Wu Jiangtao, but also attacked Chen Jun and the two babies. Public opinion was distorted and fermented, and the entire situation was changing rapidly. That night, Wu Jiangtao was furious and hardly slept. When he woke up the next day, he first gave Chen Jun full psychological preparation and then told her, Chen Jun will know about such a big thing sooner or later. There is no need and no way to hide it from her. If we talk about it openly, the two of us can discuss together how to deal with it. While they were discussing this, Li Xiaoshan also came over early in the morning. She received a reminder from her colleagues at the Research Institute last night and barely slept the entire night, constantly responding to those vicious comments directed at Chen Jun on the M University forum and Weibo. These bastards. After seeing the comments of those trolls on the internet on her phone, Li Xiaoshan was so angry that she was shaking all over, and she comforted her bestie. It's okay, don't get angry. Just treat these people as barking dogs, don't look at them or pay any attention to them. You are still in confinement after childbirth, don't get angry and hurt yourself. Don't worry, I'm fine. Wu Jiantao and I have already called the police. Chen Jun smiled, his expression calm as usual. She has always been independent and calm, and she didn't take the vicious comments directed at her by those trolls on the internet seriously. She never cared about what others thought of her, nor would she easily change herself because of others' views of her. Don't forget, even her mother's interference in her love and marriage. She just went her own way, not to mention these strangers who had never met her before, who could not shake her mind at all. However, she couldn't stand some of the vicious comments attacking the baby. Not to mention her, Wu Jiantao was so angry that he practiced several rounds of boxing downstairs in the community before he suppressed the surging anger in his heart. When they woke up in the morning, the two of them discussed it and decided to call the police. Wu Ma naturally knew about this and was equally furious. Originally, the two were going to mobilize the connections and power of the martial arts school and the martial arts world to find the culprit, but were persuaded by Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun. No need. If it were a few years ago, there might be no way to hold the other party accountable. But now, as the Chinese government continues to improve its regulations on internet governance, the internet is no longer a lawless place. After receiving the report, the F-City Police Department took prompt action. They first issued a notice, saying that they had accepted the case and started investigating the matter. They also warned those unscrupulous netizens that the internet is not a place for external communication and that anyone will be held accountable for their remarks posted on the internet. Immediately afterwards, the security department dispatched an investigation team directly to M University, found the operation team of the M University forum, and began to investigate the source of all this. Not only that, Lai Xiushan had already taken screenshots of those people who cursed the most on the internet as evidence. While reporting to the police, she also contacted a lawyer friend who was pursuing her and prepared to sue these internet celebrities directly in court. However, the impact of this internet storm did not just stay on the internet, but also spread to reality. Kyoto. At the Feiyun Group headquarters, Mo Wan had just finished a morning group meeting. After not getting much rest the previous night, she had a rare moment of rest. She had just laid down her office chair and was about to take a rest. Suddenly, there was a hurried knock at the office door. Mr. Mo, Mr. Mo. Mo Wan frowned immediately, sat up, pulled up the backrest of the office chair, and said in a deep voice, "Come in." "Boss Mo, something happened to the young lady." When Mo Wan heard the first words from the secretary who hurried in, her face suddenly turned cold and she said in a deep voice, "Xiaojun, what's wrong? What happened to her?" She was cyberbullied." What? Mo Wan stood up suddenly and asked in a cold voice, "What's going on?" The life assistant came forward and handed the post content intercepted from the M University forum on her phone to Mr. Mo the moment her phone was taken away. She stood very stiffly, her face lowered, and she was worried. Sure enough, the next moment, "You bastard!" Mo Wan suddenly slammed her desk, her face turning blue with anger, and the life assistant was so frightened that he was secretly shocked. At the shareholders' meeting this morning, Mo Wan did not lose her temper in the face of the chairman who was being harassed by everyone. She just glanced around at everyone present and said casually, 5 years. In these 5 years, I know how much I have distributed to you, and each of you knows it too. I now declare that there will be no dividends this year. The subtext of this sentence is, what can you do to me? As soon as these words were spoken, the entire meeting place fell into silence. No one dared to respond or answer. I remember that we have always had cooperative projects with M University in talent training and scientific research, right? Yes, Mr. Mo. The assistant stepped forward and handed over a business card very respectfully. This is the contact information of the Dean of M University. Mo Wan immediately answered the call, picked up the phone, and dialed directly. As a listed company, Feiyun Group has cooperated with many research institutes of domestic universities on scientific research projects, and M University is just a very inconspicuous one among them. At this time, in the dean's office in the administrative building of M University. Why didn't the forum operator delete the post immediately last night? Also, why is it that in our academy there are cases of unmarried births? Have you investigated the whole story? Immediately find the three parties involved and investigate what exactly happened. Dean M sat behind his desk with an unpleasant look on his face. Anyone who encountered such a thing would be very unhappy. Being famous is a good thing, but if you become infamous, that is definitely another matter. Chapter 56. Actions of all parties. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Yes, we will investigate it thoroughly. In front of him, the middle-aged man bowed slightly and nodded. Also, Dean. Now the people from the security department have come to our college's internet cafe and the private internet cafes near the college to conduct investigations. Our people from the political and educational department are cooperating with them. The old dean calmed down and said in a deep voice, "Let the administrative staff cooperate with the comrades in the security department. This matter is the most critical. We must find out who is behind the scenes. Even if he is a student of our college, we will never tolerate him. Now your work will be divided into three aspects. First, we need to find out the whole story and remain restrained. We cannot let our personal emotions be swayed by what has been exposed. We must treat and examine this matter objectively and calmly. Secondly, cooperate with the Security Bureau to find the person behind this incident and hold him accountable. Third, immediately start public relations work to calm down the negative influence and comments on the internet. Use all official channels of M University to immediately issue an announcement detailing the current progress of the investigation and the known objective facts. We must not be led by the nose by others. We must restore the truth, maintain fairness and justice, and safeguard the image of our M University. Any bad behavior that damages the image of our M University must be investigated and dealt with." Yes, the middle-aged man was about to say something else when the cell phone on the desk suddenly rang rapidly. The old dean looked down, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Mr. Mo from Feiyun Group. Why would she call at this time? Of course he knew about this female legend in the contemporary business world. Not to mention that the Feiyun Group she led had scientific research project cooperation with several major research institutes under M University, as well as talent training programs. Hello, I'm Mo Wan. Hello, Mr. Mo. I am Chen Wei, the Dean of M University. I wonder who you are looking for. I am Chen Jun's mother. Chen Jun, this name sounds so familiar. Suddenly, Dean Chen immediately remembered that he had just mentioned this name. Suddenly, he stood up quickly, realizing that the other party was here to question him. Dean Chen, although my daughter has graduated from M University, she is a researcher at your college's Advanced Computer Materials Research Institute. I would like to know, what is going on with this incident on the internet? My daughter gave birth to twins. This is simply fabricated nonsense. How could I not know that my daughter gave birth to a child? This is a rumor, insult, and slander. I am leaving for F-City now. I hope that M University can properly handle this matter and give me an explanation. And my daughter, I will never allow anyone to hurt her no matter who the other party is. I will sue him until he goes to jail. Mr. Mo, please don't worry. Our M University has already sent a special administrative staff to handle this matter. As for your daughter, she did give birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Dean Chen was a little puzzled, but as an old fox, he keenly sensed that something must have gone wrong, so he did not say this out loud, but said in a deep voice, "Don't worry, Mr. Mo. Your request is also what our M University immediately launched an emergency investigation. Even the F-City Security Department has sent an investigation team to our college. I believe that the truth will soon be revealed and your daughter will be cleared of all charges. I estimate that at the latest." On the other side, Mo Wan glanced at the life assistant beside her, and she immediately handed over the booked plane ticket. "We can arrive at M University around 4 p.m. Okay, on behalf of M University, I welcome Mr. Mo." Beep. After hanging up the phone, Chen Wei frowned with a slightly pale brow. The heroine of the incident that caused a storm on the internet this time turned out to be Mr. Mo's daughter. This is a bit tricky. In this massive online violence, if Chen Jun gets into trouble, immediately arrange for someone to go to the Institute of Advanced Research to find Chen Jun's advisor. Find Chen Jun as quickly as possible and make sure nothing happens to her. Also, immediately issue a notice to warn any netizens who participate in the cyberbullying. We reserve the right to take legal action against any irresponsible rumors slander, or malicious defamation of the talented students who represent the image of our M University. Yes, the middle-aged man who received the order hurried away. At the same time, in the dormitory of the School of Computer Science at K University next to M University, a boy wearing glasses, with messy hair and looking a bit sloppy, was talking on the phone with someone. Walk. His eyes widened. Are you kidding me? You provided the photos and text, and I was just responsible for processing them and sending them out. Also, you asked me to post this. Where's the evidence? You. The boy suddenly widened his eyes. Yes, the other party had asked him to delete the chat history before. Otherwise, the subsequent money would not be credited to the account. You bastard, you started to scheme against me from the beginning. But don't forget, there is also the bank card transfer record. Do you think I would be stupid enough to transfer money to you using my bank card? You'd better go abroad honestly. I will help you with the process and arrange for you to take a 1-year leave of absence from K University. If you don't do it, I will definitely be fine, but you will definitely have a criminal record, and your future will be completely ruined. Ding dong. The text message alert sounded, and the student subconsciously picked up his phone and saw a message about booking a flight ticket. Did you receive the text message? A cold voice came from the other end of the phone. In another hour, the flight to the beautiful country will arrive. You'd better pack some clothes and leave immediately. Wait a minute, The sloppy boy was still a little hesitant, but the other party didn't give him time to think and hung up the phone directly. Beep-a-beep. Hearing the sound of the phone being hung up, he sat there in a daze for a while, and then suddenly seemed to think of something and turned on the computer to search the internet for a while. In response to the current online violence against M University has issued a warning and does not rule out suing those who slandered and defamed the parties involved and smeared M University. The F-City Police Department has moved into M University and started investigating internet cafes around the F-City University town. Informed sources revealed, it turns out that the person who cheated in the M incident was not WJT, but LWE. After a quick search on the internet, he found the latest developments of the incident. For a moment, this sloppy boy was confused and sat there at a loss, looking dazed. At the same time, in a room in the boys' dormitory building opposite, another boy was looking over here with a telescope, while talking on a cell phone in his hand. Chapter 57, Master comes to visit. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. He hasn't moved yet. Brother Chen, do you want me to call him again to scare him? This kid is very timid. Hey, he's moving. He's starting to pack his clothes. Call. On the other end of the phone, no matter how calm Chen Mei was, she couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief at this moment. Very good, as long as he leaves, there will be no problem. Xiao Hong, you did a great job this time. Hey. Xiao Hong chuckled. Brother Chen, you don't have to worry too much. Even if he didn't leave, we didn't leave any evidence. The Security Bureau can't do anything to us. Even if WeChat restores the chat history, they will only find that there is nothing on that WeChat number. And the bound mobile phone number is an old number from more than 10 or 20 years ago, leaving no trace. As for the transfer records, they are a professional team that operates from overseas accounts. They do it perfectly, so there won't be any problems. I don't think this guy can get away that easily, but I have another plan, don't worry. Well, okay. Write the application to me later and I'll be your club introducer. Thank you, Brother Chen. You're welcome, we're brothers. You helped me a lot this time. I will definitely help you. Let's find a time to get together later. Haha, great. After hanging up the phone, the young man named Zyro hung through the high-powered telescope aside and walked to the balcony. He saw the sloppy boy carrying a backpack and hurriedly walked out of the door downstairs. Boy, you're on your own. Who made you so greedy and blinded by money? Suddenly, his face moved slightly, and he returned to the dormitory. The dormitory door opened, and a sweaty, steaming boy walked in holding a basketball. I was slightly stunned when I saw him. Who are you? Student Union Supervisor. He smiled lightly, took out his work ID, waved it in front of the other person's eyes, and then picked up the high-powered telescope in his hand. Someone reported that there are prohibited high-powered telescopes in your dormitory these days. You? The boy was shocked and angry. You can't just barge in and search like this, right? You're invading my privacy, don't you know that? Click. He tapped the camera on his chest, which was not turned on, and chuckled. Don't worry, although this is my personal action, I still have to wear a recorder according to the rules. This telescope. Explain to me, what do you use this high-powered telescope for? Huh. Aye. The boy suddenly became very panicked, hesitating and not daring to say anything. Although the telescope was not his, he also used it to do some unspeakable things. If it was just a prohibited electrical appliance like an induction cooker, it would be fine if it was taken away. But for something like a high-powered telescope, it would not be that simple. The 4 boys in their dormitory would most likely be punished for this. Hee. The young man named Xiao Hong came over and said with a smile, "Relax, relax. How about this? You pretend I have never been here, and I pretend I have never seen you." "Ah, this. No. Yes, yes, yes. Hey." Xiao Hong smiled, brushed past the other person, and walked straight out of the dormitory. "By the way, our student union has confiscated this thing. Tell your roommate." Seeing the other person leave, the boy finally breathed a sigh of relief and slumped down at his desk. Damn, he was almost scared to death just now. If he really got punished, his studies would be over. Yunlu Garden, a middle-aged woman who looked to be in her 50s, accompanied by several men and women, came to Building 11. "The address and location she sent me back are right here. Let's go up." They walked into the building, and soon took the elevator to 903. Ding dong, ding dong. The pleasant doorbell rang, and footsteps were heard from inside the room immediately. "Come on." Hearing this pleasant female voice, the middle-aged woman outside the door couldn't help but let out a happy smile. "This girl is here too." The door opened, and a girl with a sweet face and a slender and graceful body appeared in front of them. "Master." Li Xiaoshan was stunned when she saw the person in front. Then she took a step forward with a look of surprise and took the middle-aged woman's arm. "Master, why are you here? You didn't even tell me when you came." This middle-aged woman is Lu Huixin, the professor and mentor of Li Xiaoshan, and Chen Jun at the Institute of Advanced Computer Materials of M University. Have you had a good rest these days after returning home?" Lu Huixin patted her shoulder and said, "Everyone in the institute is very busy right now. Xiao Zhou and the others have told me several times why you haven't gone back yet." "Oh, let's not talk about this, let's not talk about this. Master, come in quickly, come in quickly." "Master." As soon as they walked in, the group was slightly stunned when they saw the unique and ancient decorative style inside. Wu Jiangtao, Chen Jun, and Wu Ma, who were in the living room, also stood up to greet them. "Master." Seeing the loving look in his master's eyes as he looked at him, Chen Jun couldn't help but have tears in his eyes. He took a few steps forward and came to his master. Let me see you." The professor from M University seemed no different from an ordinary woman at this moment. He took Chen Jun's hand and sat down with her, looking her up and down. Well, his beloved disciple seemed to have become a lot fuller, and her complexion had changed a lot. It was different from the pale complexion in the past. It was now rosy, and she seemed to be in good spirits. "It's okay, it seems like you've recovered well." Chen Jun was touched. His master's health had not been very good to begin with, and he had been busy with all the affairs of the institute. Coming here in person this time would definitely delay his work. "I'm sorry, master, because I asked you to make this special trip." It's okay, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. It's only natural to have a child." Lu Huixin comforted her. "I am no longer responsible for specific work matters in the institute. I just need to control the general direction. You should take good care of your health. I am still waiting for you to become my great general." After a while of greetings, Chen Jun began to introduce Wu Jiangtao. "Master, he is Wu Jiangtao, he is the children's father." The professor turned around and looked at Wu Jiangtao with a warm smile on his face. Well, the young man is quite energetic. Although she was devoted to academics, she could sense something was wrong with Chen Jun's introduction. "Normally, even if we are not married, he should be said to be my boyfriend. It seems that the relationship between my beloved disciple and the other party is not that simple." Chapter 58, Half of My Mother's Family. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. When Wu Ma was introduced, Lu Huixin was slightly stunned to see that she was very graceful and spoke to her very appropriately, as it seemed that she was not an ordinary person. Even those so-called socialites from big families would find it difficult to look at themselves with equal dignity and neither servile nor overbearing in front of her. After all, she was a top scientist in southeastern China and even in the world. Even the political bigwigs in City F had to call themselves juniors in front of her. Over the years, the demeanor that Professor Lu had developed was not something that ordinary people could look up to. During the conversation, Professor Lu also introduced these people from M University to them. Among them, the middle-aged man was Wang Yu, director of the Political and Educational Department of M University, and the other young men and women were not college teachers, but members of the student union. "We came here today to express the Academy's attitude. Regarding this incident, the leadership has specifically instructed that the Academy will fully cooperate with the Security Department and investigate it thoroughly. No matter who the other party is, we will hold them accountable for their legal responsibilities." Also, look at classmate Chen. I hope you don't care too much about the malicious rumors and slanders on the internet. Relax your mind. We will definitely give you justice. Thank you for your concern. I am fine, and I don't take what others say to heart. Well, Wang Yu laughed. As expected, she is the goddess and academic master of our M University. Her demeanor is really extraordinary. Judging from the situation, there will be no unexpected situations on her side. That's good, that's good. By the way, classmate Chen Jun, before we came, your mother even called the college to inquire about the details. Oh, Chen Jun responded indifferently. Forehead. Seeing her reaction, the director was stunned. Although he scratched his head, he didn't say anything more. It seems that this academic goddess has some conflicts with her family. But this was someone else's family matter, so he shouldn't interfere too much. During this condolence conversation, Wang Yu certainly did not only ask Chen Jun. After all, Wu Jiantao was also one of the parties involved. Regarding the post at the source of this incident, the director had a detailed chat with him to confirm what was going on. Although it was inconvenient to talk about many details, Wu Jiantao still said clearly, Lu Wanner and I have broken up. As for whether she is pregnant, I am not sure. Even if she is pregnant, it can't be mine. Regarding this question, Director Wang, you can ask Lu Wanner or classmate Wang Yuan. I think they should be able to give you an answer. Wang Yuan. Wang Yu was stunned for a moment, then confirmed. Is it Wang Yuanwang from the finance department? Wu Jiantao said in a calm tone. Yes, it's him. Wang Yuan. The Wang family of City F. Wang Yu couldn't help but frown slightly and asked tentatively. Student Wu, there is no conflict between you and him, right? This Wang Yuan is a transfer student. In F City, he attended several famous key universities in the university town. Every time he enrolled, he would cause trouble soon after enrollment. It was only with the influence of the Wang family that the negative impact was suppressed. The last time, the most outrageous commotion happened at HKUST, and this time, it happened at M University. Director Wang prayed in his heart, hoping that this incident and the cyberbullying had nothing to do with him. Otherwise, it would be difficult to explain to President Mo and the Mo family. After sitting and chatting for a while, Director Wang left with a few of his subordinates. As soon as they left, Professor Lu in the living room immediately took his beloved disciple's hand affectionately and said, Xiaoran, where are the two babies? I want to see them. Forehead. Seeing their master's face full of expectation and his eyes shining, Chen Jun, Li Xiaoran, and everyone else were stunned at first, and then they couldn't help laughing. Master, wait a minute, I'll go push them out. Li Xiaoran quickly got up, turned around and went to the bedroom, and pushed the two big babies who were sleeping soundly from the bedroom to the living room. Oh my! The professor couldn't help but look closely at the two babies, smiling so hard that his eyes narrowed. Both babies look very much like their mothers, so pretty and cute. As she spoke, she took out 2 red envelopes from her bosom and said, come on, Grandma will give each of you a red envelope. Little Yer, grow taller and bigger quickly. Master, there's no need for the red envelope. This is for the child, don't refuse, don't refuse. Chen Jun next to him subconsciously wanted to refuse, but he saw his master waving his hand nonchalantly and looking at him reproachfully. You, it's okay to hide such a big thing from your family, but why did you hide it from me? Giving birth is such a big thing, you should have told me first. Chen Jun was embarrassed for a moment and didn't know what to say. There was no other way. If he had told his master at that time, his family would definitely not be able to hide it. Forget it, let's not talk about this. Professor Lu also knew her difficulties. He turned to look at Wu Jiantao and said earnestly, Xiao Wu, although Xiao Jun usually looks serious and calm, she sometimes gets impulsive and does unexpected things. You have to understand her, tolerate her, and take good care of her. I will. Wu Jiantao nodded quickly. Speaking of which, as Xiaoran's master, I am also half of her family. If you encounter any troubles in the future, don't be like Xiaoran and say nothing. You must come to me as soon as possible. Professor Lu took Wu Jiantao by the hand and said, although I am old, I still have a say in some areas and can still help. Okay, we will. Wu Jiantao said quickly. Hey, it's almost noon, Xiao, go and cook first, don't just sit there. Wu Ma suddenly said. It's already noon. Professor Lu was stunned at first, then he quickly stood up, holding his waist. Oh, so much time has passed without me noticing. I have to go back first. Don't leave, dear. Stay and have dinner with us. Wu Ma quickly grabbed her. Well, this Master Chen Jun just called himself her mother's family member, so she immediately changed the title, and the distance between them was shortened. No, Professor Lu said quickly. There is a project seminar at the Institute this afternoon. Stay. It's been a long time since you and Xiaoran have seen each other. Today is a rare gathering. Stay and have a home-cooked meal together. By the way, do you have any dietary restrictions, dear relative? Unable to refuse, Professor Lu did not insist on leaving and stayed. On second thought, it has been a long time since I sat down to have dinner with Xiaojun, so I decided to stay. The key is that I also want to know more about this young man named Wu Jiangtao and his mother. And most importantly, how do they treat Xiaojun? Chapter 59. Caught. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Soon, the rich aroma of food wafted out from the kitchen. Huh. It smells so good. Professor Lu in the living room was slightly stunned and could not help but turn his head to look at the dining room, only to see Wu Ma carrying a pot of soup from the kitchen and placing it on the dining table. Dinner is ready. Wow, Li Xiaoshan, whose stomach had been growling with hunger for a long time, was the first to move. She hurried to the kitchen to help, brought out her favorite hometown dishes. Today's dish is shredded pork with fish flavor. Looking at this dish that was rosy in color and filled with the aroma of fish, Li Xiaoshan felt her stomach become even emptier, and her cries became louder. Master, let's go over there. In the living room, Chen Jun also stood up and went to the dining room with his master. Dear relatives, please sit down. Wu Ma had just set the table and greeted her happily. As soon as he sat down, Professor Lu saw that most of the dishes on the table were obviously prepared for Xiaojun. Among them, only 2 dishes were relatively different, obviously prepared to cater to the tastes of others. Come and try our Jiang Tao's cooking. He just happened to have more time in the past 6 months, so he taught himself to cook. Wu Ma helped her serve the soup very enthusiastically. Great, Professor Lu was very happy. Judging from the dishes on the table, the young man was at least very good at cooking, and at least he could take good care of Xiaojun's nutrition. Just as we started eating, we suddenly heard the sound of 2 babies crying from the master bedroom. Everyone eat first, I'll go take a look. Wu Jiangtao quickly stood up and went to the master bedroom. After a very warm and lively lunch, Professor Lu praised Wu Jiangtao's cooking skills. It looks like our little Jun will have a good time in the future. Sitting back in the living room, Professor Lu watched Wu Jiangtao busy taking care of the 2 babies, a gratified smile appearing on his face. Nowadays, let alone boys, there are very few girls who can cook and are willing to cook. For example, someone next to me went out for a dinner party with her colleagues in the institute, but she was so clumsy that she couldn't even grill and could only eat. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but glance with disdain at Li Xiaoshan, who was holding her belly and screaming. I ate too much again? The girl had a sad face and was muttering to herself. I still have some calories from yesterday's meal to burn off through running. I guess I can't sleep in this afternoon. I need to go out for a run. Ah, Professor Lu. Suddenly her cell phone rang. She picked it up and saw Feiyan Group Mo Wan written on it. Hey Zyro Mo. Aunt Lu, long time no see. Have you seen Xiaojun recently? She ran into some trouble these days. Oh, I know what you said. I'm at her place now. She's fine, she's doing well. Huh? On the other end of the phone, Mo Wan was obviously relieved when she heard this. Aunt Lu, I feel relieved that you are with her. I was worried that she would be upset. It's okay, I'm here. Thank you, Aunt Lu. I just boarded the plane and will arrive in City F at around 3:00 p.m. Well, we haven't seen each other for a long time. As soon as the call ended, Wu Ma came over from the restaurant with a bowl of sliced apples and oranges. My dear relatives, come have some fruit to help digestion. I have to say that Wu Ma is very good at getting along with people. Although she has not known Chen Jun's master for a long time, the way they address each other and communicate with each other has become close. On the way to F-City International Airport, Yang Yuan was fidgeting in the passenger seat. Having stayed up all night for several days, his body exuded a kind of indescribable and very touching smell. The driver next to him was really upset and couldn't help but ask, "Are you a student at M University?" Oh, yes, I'm from M University, he replied absent-mindedly. Forehead. The driver rubbed his nose and couldn't help but asked, "Well, how many days have you not showered?" Damn, I still have to prepare some masks in the future. I can't stand it anymore. No, I just washed it on Wednesday. The driver was stunned, if he remembered correctly. Today is Saturday, right? What's wrong? Yang Yuan calmed himself down and then noticed that the driver next to him looked constipated, which was a bit strange. Don't you smell it yourself? The driver was too tired to complain. You smell so bad. Cough, cough, it's just very strong. Very heavy. Yang Yuan smelled himself. Yes, there is a little bit, but it's not very strong. I think it's okay. This guy didn't know it himself. He hadn't washed for 3 days and stayed up late every day. A layer of dirt had accumulated on his body. When he went out, the smell on his body was naturally quite touching. Okay, I feel okay. This made him so moved that he almost doubted his life. He couldn't help it, so the driver opened the window to get rid of the indescribable smell in the car. Whoosh, the heat wave suddenly poured in from outside. It's almost June and we're entering midsummer. The weather is getting hotter and hotter. As soon as the car window is opened, Yang Yuan had just gotten into the car and immediately broke out in a sweat before he could even feel the cool breeze. He felt very uncomfortable. It's so hot, sir. Can you please not open the window? Driver, well, you are my ancestor today, so he could only close the window again and turn the air conditioner to the maximum, hoping to dry out the stinky sweat on this guy's body, just like that. As long as it's not piping hot, the taste doesn't seem to be that strong. Boom! The veteran driver stepped on the accelerator and the car sped through the traffic, heading towards the airport quickly to get the old man away. The smell was really unbearable for most people. As the airport got closer, Yang Yuan in the co-pilot seat calmed down a lot. It's okay, they probably won't find me that quickly, as long as he could get on the plane and reach the beautiful country smoothly, and then change his appearance and identity according to Hong Shao's arrangement. He could come back openly. He was looking forward to the future happily, but the driver next to him was looking more and more pale. He shortened the original 40-minute driving time to more than 20 minutes. After taking the fare and watching the boy get off his car, the driver took a long breath and exhaled a long breath. Damn it, this journey just now was so torturous that I almost died. Just as he was about to start the car and leave, suddenly, someone knocked on his car window. Get out of the car, police. Driver. In front, when a plainclothes policeman came to Yang Yuan, he couldn't help but bend down as soon as he took out his police officer ID and said, I am a policeman, you are Yang O. Fuck. The two plainclothes policemen who were surrounding him almost suffocated. They couldn't help but bend over slightly, but they still grabbed Yang Yuan to prevent him from running away. I recommend a book by a big guy. Showdown, I Am a Dragon is a book by the left-handed Lolita Boss. It is well written. You can take a look at it when you have time. Chapter 60. Mr. Mo is coming. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Fuck. This smell is too spicy. Captain, this guy stinks. It's like he's carrying a poison gas bomb. Even though they felt uncomfortable, they still grabbed Yang Yuan. However, they couldn't help but feel a surge in their waist and abdomen and almost vomited. Nonsense, how could a child carry a poison gas bomb? Let me take a look. A captain from the security office who was directing the scene came over in person. But when he walked in front of Yang Yuan, he couldn't help but have the same reaction as the team members. Several people gathered together, standing side by side and bending slightly in unison. Hey, what the hell is this? What's that smell? Yang Yuan, smell? What smell could I have? Why can't I smell it? Next, their team took some effort to borrow a set of chemical protective suits from the airport security post, put them on Yang Yuan, who had turned himself into a walking biological weapon, and took him away. So far, although the suspect who posted the Goddess Collapse Gate incident on the M University forum almost boarded a plane to leave F-City, at the critical moment, a team from the F-City Police Department arrived in time and captured him. Almost as soon as Yang Yuan was arrested by the Security Bureau, M University got the news and immediately released the authoritative news through M University's Weibo, Sina, TikTok, and other major media platforms, announcing the latest progress of the investigation into the incident. At the same time, the announcement also specifically stated that a lawyer's letter had been sent to the Big V's, who were the most smearing and enthusiastic about Chen Jun on the internet, and the procedure for suing them had been initiated. For a moment, those people who had transformed themselves into saints and wantonly judged others morally became quiet, and the surging waves of cyber violence on the internet naturally came to an abrupt end. As a student of computer science, Wu Jiantao once attended a symposium in the department, where he and his classmates systematically discussed with a professor why there are so many trolls on the internet. Nowadays, there are a lot of slanderous words on the internet, such as a walking 500,000, sitting on a crooked butt, or doing side jobs. During the discussion, they first explored why these remarks appeared. What aspect of human nature is the starting point of these remarks? In essence, these remarks put themselves in a moral upper hand and conduct trials, or even criticisms, openly and above board. Then why don't they conduct a logical and methodical debate with the parties concerned on an equal basis? Why should they be condemned if something does not meet their wishes? A classmate asked the instructor, inability or unwillingness to think, or lack of ability. All three of these reasons may apply, but I think the most fundamental reason is that moral judgment requires the least brain power and has the lowest threshold. This is essentially the instinctive expression of organisms that consumes the least energy. Oh, I see. The students all nodded. This was easy to understand. Simply put, it was. If you can lie down comfortably, then you definitely won't stand. If you can stand instead of running, then you definitely won't run. If you can be choked to death with one sentence, then you definitely won't bother engaging in a logical debate with you. In summary, these verbal attacks can be regarded as moral judgments, the cheapest way of debate, and the ultimate weapon that most people can easily use. For example, in the comments section of a book on Kidian, a book friend nicknamed Nan Shufeng saw a book written by a certain author titled The Goddess Gave Me Twins and immediately blurted out, "How shameless must a person be to write a book like this?" This kind of speech is a typical example of taking normal debate to the level of moral judgment. It's okay to YY a goddess, but you even YY twins, bah, you are so shameless. I don't need to read your book, nor do I know what you wrote. I don't even have the time to pick out the details and loopholes in your book. With just a few words from me, I can easily put you in an absolute moral disadvantage. This is the absolute advantage brought about by the low intelligence and low energy consumption of moral judgment, as well as its inherent dimensionality reduction, attack attribute. During this seminar, the instructor also summarized other characteristics of internet trolls, such as the expansion of personal subjectivity when picking up the keyboard, the protection of personal subjectivity by online virtual identities, the reduction of the cost of moral judgment, the lack of equal rights and responsibilities for personal speech, and many other aspects. Regardless, the online storm caused by a post on the M University forum has finally subsided. Even the instigator was caught and admitted that he had fabricated facts and framed others. The trolls no longer had a moral high ground. What's more, those who jumped the most among them were also caught and made an example of. Now that the rights and responsibilities are clear and equal, these moral guardians suddenly became silent and stopped talking. They acted like spectators and quietly moved their mouse to delete some of the short essays they had written on Weibo. However, the internet has memory, and some of the comments posted by several of them were still clearly captured in screenshots. The person who did this was not only Chen Jun's best friend Li Xiaoshan, but also Mr. Mo, who had just got off the plane and walked into F-City International Airport at around 3:00 p.m. Have you compiled a list of those who spread rumors and slandered my daughter? Ms. Mo, the Information and Media Department has intercepted and preserved the remarks made by those people, and the legal department has already begun to take action, the life assistant who was following her said as she trotted behind Mo Wan. Okay, I will tell the Ministry of Justice in my personal name that no matter what the cost, no matter how much it costs this time, we will bring these people to court, without missing a single one. Yes. He took out a pair of sunglasses from his bag and put them on. The strong aura that Mr. Mo had exuded along the way finally dissipated a lot. As soon as they walked out of the airport passage, they saw someone in the group ahead holding a huge sign with a few large characters written in a flamboyant style. Feiyan Group, Mr. Mo. They were naturally the staff of the Foreign Affairs Office of M University. The middle-aged man in the middle of the crowd saw the distinguished guests coming and hurriedly came forward to greet them with a smile. Hello, Mr. Mo. I am Yan Fei, the director of the Foreign Affairs Office of M University. We have met before. Hello. Mo Wan took off her sunglasses and nodded at him calmly. Boss Mo, our M University, in cooperation with the security department, has already captured the suspect who posted the message and is currently interrogating him. What's the name of the person who posted this? Yang Yuan. He is not a student of our M University, but a sophomore of the Southeast University of Science and Technology next door. The book friend named Nan Shufeng, who appears in this chapter, is the author himself, Tilda. Chapter 61, Two Babies. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Yang Yuan. Mo Wan frowned slightly and immediately recalled the boys who had contact with her daughter in the past. Among them, there was no one named Yang Yuan, but soon she immediately realized something. This person named Yang Yuan is definitely not the real person behind the scenes. That's right. According to what we have learned from the Security Bureau, this student named Yang Yuan is not very good at academics. He was once asked to drop out of the university because he was too obsessed with playing online games. However, he later took the college entrance examination again and was admitted to the university. Get to the point. Forehead. Yan Fei's face suddenly became a little embarrassed. The Security Bureau checked Yang Yuan's bank card and found that he received transfers of 50,000 yuan and 100,000 yuan before and after he posted the message. However, these remittances were transferred from overseas accounts. Currently, The Economic Investigation Division of the Security Bureau is trying its best to track down the 2 accounts where the remittances were made. Oh. Mo-Wan narrowed her eyes slightly. Sure enough, this cyberbullying against her own daughter was not that simple. As they were talking, they had already passed through the airport hall and arrived at the exit gate. When they were about to get into the car, Mr. Mo suddenly asked Yan Fei a question. "How is my daughter now?" Our University specially sent the director of the Political Education Department and Professor Lu Huixin to visit Chen Jun's student Chen. Jun was not affected by the online violence and seemed to be in good spirits. Mo-Wan nodded. She has always been very confident in Chen Jun. She has carefully nurtured her daughter since she was young, not only in terms of study, but also in character formation and spiritual will. It can be said that except for no specific requirements for her daughter to go into the kitchen to cook, she has not let go of almost any other aspect. Chen Jun can even do very well in surviving in the wild. Also, Chen Jun's 2 babies are doing well, healthy and cute. Yeah, okay, wait, what did you say? Here, the chairman of Fei Yun Group, who had just turned around to get in the car, stopped. The next moment, he slowly turned his head in surprise and looked at Director Yan, who had just turned around and got in the car. She wasn't the only one who looked stunned. The staff at the M University were also confused. What's wrong? Suddenly, Director Yan got out of the car again with some embarrassment and looked at Mo-Wan with a worried heart, wondering if I had said something wrong just now. Every word he just said quickly flowed through his mind, and he quickly stood up again. Sorry, if I said anything wrong just now, please forgive me, Mr. Mo. What did you just say? Mo-Wan looked at him steadily, her phoenix eyes flashing with a frightening and fierce look. Well, I mean if I said something wrong. No, the previous sentence. Oh, I mean classmate Chen Jun and her 2 babies are all fine. They have not been affected by this cyberbullying. 2 babies? Mo-Wan turned around in astonishment and looked at the assistant beside her, only to see that she was also puzzled. She looked at Yan Fei and said, "Our lady's name is Chen Jun, the Jun next to the character Wang? Are you sure?" "That's right." Yan Fei was even more puzzled and quickly said, "Your daughter Chen Jun has always been very famous in our M University. Even after graduation, she is still very popular in the college and even in the entire F-City University town." "Ken," the assistant standing next to Mo-Wan said with a helpless look on her face, "Our lady hasn't given birth to any children. She's not married and she doesn't even have a boyfriend. Where did the baby come from?" The staff of M University looked at each other in bewilderment. Could it be that they had made a mistake in identifying the person? Only Yan Fei seemed to understand something and hesitantly said to Mo-Wan, "Mr. Mo, how long has it been since you last met your daughter?" This strong woman, who is famous both at home and abroad, was slightly startled. For a moment, she couldn't remember how long it had been since she last saw her daughter. "Last August, she told me that the Institute would send her to the United States to participate in a project in the second half of the year. Since then, I have only had video calls with her on the phone at most. It can be said that every video call or voice phone chat between the mother and daughter almost always ends unpleasantly. Because no matter whether her daughter called her or she called her daughter, the final outcome was basically the same. Because every time, the content of their conversation could not avoid the boys who appeared around her daughter. Over the past few years, there have been several times when my daughter simply didn't want to listen to her talk about so-and-so's personality, the family business, etc. But Mo-Wan can also contact Li Xiaoshan and let this good friend take action personally to easily expose the true colors of those boys who approach Chen Jun on this point. Li Xiaoshan can form an alliance with her, and also believes that those boys with bad intentions or poor character are not good matches for Chen Jun. Last August, it's almost been a year now, Yan Fei became more and more certain of his inner guess and kindly reminded, "Boss Mo, how about you make a video call to your daughter in person?" Taking a deep breath, Mo-Wan suppressed the anxiety and anger in her heart with her utmost willpower and looked at Director Yan with an unmoved expression. "No need, let's deal with this cyberbullying first, and we'll go to the F-City Security Department." "Good." As Mo-Wan got into the business car sent by the F-City branch, the staff of M University also got into the cars one after another. The convoy started and sped towards the F-City Police Department. "Zaya Wan," Mo-Wan's calm voice sounded in the car. The life assistant sitting next to him felt a little nervous and quickly responded, "Mr. Mo, do you think Xiaojun will really?" The assistant opened his mouth, not knowing what to say for a moment. After a moment's hesitation, he said carefully, "That shouldn't be the case. The young lady, The young lady has been busy with her research at the institute and doesn't have a boyfriend. How could she have a child? Yes, Mo Wan said in a gloomy tone. Zaya Wan, how long have you been with me? Hearing this, Zaya Wan's heart suddenly tightened, and she said with some panic on her face, Boss Mo, I have been with you for 3 years, I'm sorry. Where did you go? Mo Wan smiled, reached out and patted her shoulder. If this is true, it's not your fault. Ziogen is my daughter. If she really wants to do something, I can't stop her and you can't stop her either. I want to ask you, you've known Ziogen for so many years. Why do you think she doesn't like the person I arranged for her? Chapter 62. Mr. Mo's Anxiety. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Speaking of the young talents she recommended, each one of them is better than the boys who appeared around her. Whether it is character or family affairs, one is better than the other, and they are humble and low-key, focusing on their careers and making great plans. Why doesn't Ziogen understand her own painstaking efforts? Zio Huan didn't know how to answer Mr. Mo's question, so she could only answer irrelevantly. Miss is really outstanding. She has many advantages that I cannot have, especially her calmness and independence. Mr. Mo, there must be something wrong. Miss can't have a child so soon. She is so strong-willed, how could she just find a... At the critical moment, she stopped talking and finally didn't say the words, find a man to have children before marriage. It's impossible. Maybe those 2 babies are someone else's. They are just temporarily with the lady. Especially her calmness and independence. So strong. Hearing these words, Mo Wan was stunned for a moment. As a mother, she had never doubted that her daughter was independent. Since she was young, she and her husband had not been able to accompany their daughter all the time due to their careers. This led to her learning to be alone at a very young age, thus forming this independent and strong personality. But to say how calm my daughter is, but she knew very well that Chen Jun was not a calm person at heart, and once he became impulsive, he would do something extremely outrageous that no one could stop him from doing. Mo Wan sat in the car, becoming more and more uneasy the more she thought about it. Yes, at the end of August last year, Ziogen took the initiative to call her. She had forgotten what they talked about, but during the call, the mother told her about the latest background information and character analysis of a boy around her. During that phone call, my daughter, for the first time, did not interrupt me, nor did she quarrel with me again. She just listened to me calmly and said at the end, "Are you done? Okay, I understand." After saying that, she hung up the phone. As the saying goes, no one knows a daughter better than her mother. As soon as the phone call ended, she immediately felt something was wrong and felt uneasy. Her daughter's calm reaction when she spoke was a little abnormal. Mo Wan had originally been thinking about whether she should go to F-City to see her. However, the busy work that followed left her no time to care about the slight uneasiness in her heart. Mo Wan just sat there quietly, thinking back to the several times she had communicated with her daughter from last year to now, and the bad feeling in her heart became stronger and stronger. No, Ziogen wouldn't do that. She must have made a mistake. Maybe she just deliberately created the illusion that she was pregnant to make me angry. Yes, that should be the case. Thinking of this, Mo Wan felt a little relieved. This should be the case. Her daughter is such a proud and strong-willed person. How could she just find a boy and have a child out of wedlock? Impossible. Mo Wan calmed down and forced herself to turn her attention to this cyberbullying incident. She turned her head and glanced at the assistant beside her. Zaya Wan, before I came here, I asked you to organize the information of those people. Have you done it? Boss Mo, it's all sorted. The young assistant immediately took a Huawei tablet from his side and handed it over. Looking at the photos on the tablet, it seems that they were taken recently. In addition, the character information from family background, academic performance to conduct and personality analysis, all aspects are clearly written. You did this? Yes, Mr. Mo. That's thoughtful. Mo Wan nodded with satisfaction and gave the young assistant a look of approval. He thought she would just print out the information he gave her, but he didn't expect her to reorganize it and make it in this way. She also specially collected recent life photos of the characters and put them on it with both pictures and texts, which was clear at a glance. It's nothing, I just sorted out the information, the assistant said with a smile. Nodding, Mr. Mo began to look through the person's profile on the Huawei tablet, with a sharp light flashing in his eyes. That's right, before she boarded the plane to come here, she thought that the target of this cyberbullying incident was too clear and too targeted. Although before coming here, the F-City Police Department and M University sent information saying that the person who posted the message had been caught. But Mo Wan thought for a moment and concluded that this science student named Yang Yuan must be a discarded child. The person hiding behind the scenes must have cut off all the evidence chains long ago. In fact, he was commissioned to do this. In other words, even if the people in the Security Bureau are powerful enough to follow the clues and catch the manipulator behind Yang Yuan, they will not be able to find out the real culprit. As soon as the plane landed, Mr. Mo's confidant sent a message saying that he had checked Fei Yun Group's competitors and confirmed that it was not their work. In this way, the person who took action must be around Chen Jun and must have a vested interest in her or an emotional entanglement with her. Coincidentally, she has information and analysis on every boy who had appeared next to Chen Jun before, from their family background, academic performance, to character and personality. Of course, the person who attacked her might not be a man, but a girl. In this regard, one of Mo Wan's trusted confidants has already started collecting information and conducting investigations, and he believes that a satisfactory result will be given to him soon. This limited edition luxury car was driving on the extremely smooth asphalt road. Mo Wan quietly held the Huawei tablet and wrote and drew on the screen. After about 20 minutes, she finished reading the information of these 20 young people and finally handed the tablet back to the assistant. Everyone listed here needs to be investigated, but the 2 people I circled, find someone to focus on investigating. Okay, I'll send a message right away. The life assistant immediately took the computer and began to contact an information consulting company under the group. The moment the Huawei tablet was handed over, one of the 2 names circled on the screen was Chen Mei. Ding dong, a WeChat reminder came. Hong Weiying, who was lying comfortably and enjoying the service, turned his head slightly, glanced at the mobile phone screen. His expression changed slightly, and he immediately took the phone to take a look. Her mother is here, you better be careful, be clean, and don't leave any traces behind. Okay, don't worry, brother Chen. Whether it's WeChat chat records or bank transfers, those people have done a very clean job. They are all professionals, there will be no problem. But you still have to be careful. Mo Wan from Fei Yun Group is not an ordinary person. Yeah, I'll be careful. Young Master Hong shook his head slightly, with a relaxed look in his eyes. In his opinion, the most the Security Bureau could do was to find those people, and he had already cleared himself of all charges. Even if they came looking for him, it would be useless. Chapter 63, Something is Wrong. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. In just over half an hour, Mo Wan and his group arrived at M University. As soon as he got off the car, Chen Wei, the old dean of M University, came over and shook hands with Mo Wan. Mr. Mo, I'm sorry to see you in this way today. Dean Chen, you know me? There's no need to say polite words. I'm only here to protect my daughter. Mo Wan smiled gently. We are very sorry for this incident. We at M University will do our best to get to the bottom of it. The old dean breathed a sigh of relief. As long as the other party didn't come to accuse him, it would be fine. As he said this, he turned around and glanced at Wang Yu, the director of the political and educational department beside him. Director Wang quickly stepped forward and said to Mo Wan, "Please come this way. Mr. Mo, I will introduce to you the current situation of the interrogation of Yang Yuan by the Security Bureau and our M University." Okay. They walked out of the college gate again and headed towards the police station on College Road in a mighty procession. Yang Yuan's interrogation took place here. After all, it involved 2 universities, M University and Southeast University of Science and Technology. Interrogating here would also make it convenient for the leaders of the 2 university colleges to come and check on the interrogation and the progress of the case. As soon as she arrived at the guard post, Mo Wan saw a familiar face among the staff of M University, whom she had just examined. She was slightly stunned and looked at it a few more times. Mr. Mo, this is Chen Mei, the current president of the student union of our M University. Wang Yu, who was following her, noticed her gaze and quickly introduced her. Oh, Mr. Mo nodded without denying it. His eyes narrowed slightly as he looked at Chen Mei, and an indescribable intuition emerged in his heart. In the crowd, Chen Mei felt the gaze of this important person early on. Even though he had a strong mind and psychological quality, and his expression was very natural when facing Mr. Mo's gaze, he couldn't help feeling weak in his heart. That's right, this time he did post such a post on the M University forum, but his target of attack was not Chen Jun, but Wu Jiangtao. In his estimation, even if Chen Jun was affected, Xiao Hong could use his water army to adjust public opinion and control it to the extent of precisely striking Wu Jiangtao. Even if Chen Jun was slightly affected, it would not be a big deal. However, this time the internet storm was beyond his expectations. Such a big deviation had occurred. Who could he blame? Can we blame Chen Jun for being too outstanding and too beautiful, and for diverting the direction of this public opinion storm? Chen Mei was pretending not to notice their gazes, but the next moment, out of the corner of her eye, she saw that Mr. Mo turned around and said something to his immediate superior. Immediately, Wang Yu turned around and looked over and called her, Zhao Chen, Zhao Chen. At this moment, Chen Mei, who turned around and chatted with a classmate beside him, seemed to be very impressive. He was shocked and turned around to look over. At this moment, his acting skills burst out. He turned around in surprise and said, "Ah, director, you are looking for me. Come here for a moment." Wang Yu waved at him. Oh. Chen Mei walked over quickly. "Director Wang, you're looking for me." "Haha, no." Director Wang Yu smiled and quickly introduced. "It's President Mo. She wants to ask you about Chen Jun's situation in our college." "Ah, hello, Mr. Mo. I'm Chen Mei. If you have anything you want to know, feel free to ask me. I'm also a friend of senior sister Xiaojun. Our student union is also filled with indignation about her experience this time." Chen Mei, who walked over, behaved very normally. The admiration in her eyes when she looked at him, and the awkwardness when she spoke, gave people the feeling that this was how an ordinary college student should be. But at this time, not only Mo Wan felt something was wrong, but Wang Yu also looked at Chen Mei with some doubts, muttering to himself, "That's not right. This kid has always been very calm in the past. Even when facing the city leaders, his attitude is calm and steady, and his words are clear and loud. How can he be so excited like now?" But Director Wang immediately changed his mind and thought that maybe this guy admired CEO Mo. CEO Mo had been in the business world for more than 30 years and founded Fei Yun Group. He was also the #1 in the domestic automobile manufacturing industry. Anyone would show this attitude when facing the person they admire the most. Wang Yu didn't think much about it, but before coming here, Mo Wan had carefully reviewed the information about Chen Mei's family background and character analysis. From the beginning, she had a 100% scrutiny of Chen Mei. Something is wrong. What? Yunlu Garden, Building 11, Residence 903. My mother is here. Chen Jun, who was breastfeeding in the room, looked up and saw Li Xiaoshan, who was yelling in front of her with some surprise. "Yes, Master just sent me a WeChat message saying that Aunt Mo has arrived at M University, and under the leadership of the college leaders. She went to the police station on Zuyuan Road to learn about the case." Chen Jun fell silent for a moment, and her slender eyebrows couldn't help but frown slightly. At the side, Wu Jiangtao, who was holding Daodu, was also silent. Although he had anticipated this situation, he couldn't help but feel nervous at this moment. After the first heart-to-heart chat with Chen Jun, he not only understood the family background of this M University goddess, but also knew why she came to him. "It's all thanks to our ancestors who have given us this blessing. Thank you, ancestors." However, whether this was a lucky thing or not has not yet been determined. From Chen Jun's words, his impression of Mr. Mo can be summed up in 2 words. Overbearing. What she calls freedom is giving you options, and you have complete freedom to choose. Don't like them all? That's okay, just change another batch. Want to choose not to choose? That's fine, then I will help you choose the boys around you, and use a magnifying glass to pick out every pore on them, from family background to personal ability to character and temperament. The result is that Mr. Mo's daughter has no way of making normal male friends, let alone a boyfriend. As for his actions over the years, Mr. Mo did not feel that he had to impose his own ideas on his daughter or force her to do anything, because it's not that she didn't give her daughter the freedom to choose. Since her daughter wants to do what she wants to do, that's okay. I can also do what I want to do and help her daughter investigate and analyze every boy who appears around her. To sum up, this mother's inner thoughts are, what I find for you is the best. Those around you are not good enough at all. It doesn't matter if you don't understand or object now. One day you will understand my painstaking efforts. Chapter 64, 3 requests. Part 1, please read and vote for me, Tilda. The friend was a little anxious. Xiaojun, now that Aunt Mo is here, have you thought about how to tell her about this? Chen Jun said calmly, "Come on, I'll talk to her in person." The new mother carefully put Mio, who was well fed and soundly asleep, into the baby's crib, and then took her younger sister Daodu from Wu Jiangtao and breastfed on the other side. Forehead. Li Xiaoshan covered her face. "Say it in person. Are you sure that wasn't Mars hitting the Earth? There's really no need." The best friend stepped forward and said, "Aunt Mo did that in the past because she was worried that you would put your trust in the wrong person. She still cares about you very much. As soon as something happened to you, she immediately put aside her business at the group company and rushed here as soon as possible. Then she should have come to see my daughter first instead of going to the police station. I never care who did this." "But Aunt Mo cares," Li Xiaoshan advised. "Xiaojun, there's no need to make things so awkward." Chen Jun remained silent. It wasn't that she was ignorant, nor that she didn't trust her mother. She knew that her mother had always been doing it for her own good. But the things she had done and her attitude all along, it's really unacceptable. It's okay, let my mom come. Let her see that I'm in good condition now. Lee Zayaroshan. There was no other way, so the friend could only turn around and leave the room. When she came to the living room, she saw Wu Ma holding her cell phone and making a call. No time again? Let me tell you, Yuan Huang, if you dare not show up again this time, your uncle and I will go to your bureau and give you some guidance on your martial arts training. Do you believe me? There is such a good thing. Then I definitely welcome it. I have invited my uncle to come to our Tiger Roar team several times to guide our martial arts training, but he always declined. Wu Ma, she couldn't understand what the young people of today were thinking. If they really beat you up in front of your teammates, would you still have prestige? Your aunt, not your aunt, I'm threatening you. You don't understand what I'm saying, right? Second aunt, I really can't leave here. Why don't you bring her to Q City? I will definitely treat you well. By the way, I called my uncle yesterday and heard him say that Jiang Tao has regained his strength. That's great. I want him to come to my police force and learn from the other members. Let these bastards see what they are like so that they don't get carried away all day long. Ouch, ouch, stop talking. You even asked me to bring a girl to see you. Why don't you go to heaven? Hee hee. Yuan Huang on the opposite side laughed awkwardly. I just want to ask you one question. When are you free to come? Yu Wenqian laughed angrily. Hey kid, don't blame me for not reminding you. If you miss it again this time, you will definitely regret it. Forehead. On the other end of the phone, Yuan Huang was about to say something to fool around when another person's voice suddenly came from the side. Captain Huang, the director wants to see you. Oh, okay, I'll be right there. Yu Wenwang on the other side said something to the man, then turned back and said on the phone, Second aunt, let's talk about it later. I'm busy now. After saying that, he hung up the phone and went about his business. Beep. Listening to the busy tone on the phone, Wu Ma didn't seem angry at all. She was well prepared this time. Tomorrow, this kid has to come to City F. Little guy, this time, you have to come even if you don't want to. After hanging up the phone, she saw Lee Zayaroshan coming to the living room. Seeing her looking at her awkwardly, she immediately smiled like an auntie. Zayaroshan, come here, sit down. The boy that auntie told you about before will be here tomorrow, but you promised auntie that you would definitely come. Forehead. Lee Zayaroshan smiled reluctantly. I will, auntie, but if he's not free, then I can do it too. I'm not free, how dare he? Don't worry, I must be free. She was speechless and sorted out her thoughts. What did she want to say to Wu Ma just now? Yes, it was about Zayaroshan and Aunt Mo. Aunt Wu, has Jiang Tao ever told you about Zayaroshan's family? Well, Wu Ma's face turned serious. Yes, Zyro Tao told me about it. You want to tell me about Zayaroshan's mother coming to F City, right? Well, I want to go find Aunt Mo before she shows up and explain things to her. Oh, will this help? Hearing this, Lee Zayaroshan also sighed deeply and said with a wry smile, whether it is useful or not, at least let's give them a shot of prevention. I hope they won't be in big trouble when they meet. Hearing this, Wu Ma frowned deeply. It seemed that the problem between Zayaroshan and her mother was really big. As they were talking, Wu Jiantao suddenly walked out of the bedroom and came to the living room. I'm going too. Lee Zayaroshan was stunned. What? Wu Jiantao still couldn't go. Well, it was Chen Jun who came out and called him. In her opinion, Wu Jiantao has done enough. He has done very well for both herself and the two babies. She cannot let him face his mother again. She knew her mother well growing up, which only made the problem worse. On the surface, the current problem is the future of her, Wu Jiantao, and their two babies, a family of 4. But if you peel off the surface and look inside, you will find that today's situation is essentially caused by the problems between Chen Jun and her mother, Mo Wan. At this point, Chen Jun was extremely calm. She felt a sense of liberation that was hard to describe, because, for so many years, whether in study or work, she had always followed the path arranged by her mother. She had always felt like a puppet. From junior high school to a key high school, and then to a key university through the college entrance examination. When she filled out the application form that year, she, a good girl since childhood, made a choice that went against her mother's wishes for the first time, and the conflict between the two broke out completely at that time. Her mother hoped that she would choose finance or business-related subjects, but Chen Jun didn't even think about it and directly applied for computer materials science in the nationally renowned Department of Physics at M University. After filling it out, this strong mother had to compromise for the first time. Later, when Chen Jun thought that she could understand and recognize herself with her excellent grades, the biggest conflict between mother and daughter came. Not only did Mo Wan fail to realize the root of the conflicts and problems between herself and her daughter, but she also intensified her interference in her daughter's emotional life. Last August, Chen Jun originally wanted to follow the work arrangements of her master Lu Huixin and go abroad to hide away, but after a phone call with her mother, Mo Wan, that night, she was impulsive. That night, Chen Jun went to Hall's bar, where he met Wu Jiangtao, who was drinking alone. Afterwards, she actually regretted it, but later on, because of the busy work at the research institute, coupled with her work often reversing day and night, her menstrual period was not very regular. It wasn't until more than 3 months later that she realized her good friend hadn't come for a long time, so she went to the hospital for a checkup, and the result was not unexpected. I got pregnant, and right off the bat it was twins. Originally, it was the result of an impulse. At that time, her first reaction was to abort the baby. However, when the female doctor said, "Congratulations, you will be able to hear the baby's heartbeat soon," Chen Jun's heart was pounding, and at that moment, she completely gave up the idea of aborting the baby. Chapter 65, 3 Requests, Part 2, Please read and vote for me, Tilda. During the 10 months of pregnancy, she went through a lot, but she persevered. Chen Jun, who is strong and independent by nature, understands that this is all her own fault, and she cannot blame anyone else. Therefore, she did not disturb Wu Jiangtao. During the days from her hospitalization to her confinement after being discharged, she deeply felt that this guy is unexpectedly good. Perhaps I can't say that I like him, but as a father of my baby, and even as a husband who takes care of his wife, he is definitely qualified. Looking back on these days, the little things we did together, and the subtle tacit understanding in taking care of the baby, Chen Jun felt a little warm in his heart. That's why she agreed to someone's 3 requests to her yesterday. Time goes back to yesterday. The two of them finally talked it out, and Wu Jiangtao began to make further demands. You can't ask for too much. You have to say that I can do it within my ability. Looking at the look in Wu Jiangtao's eyes staring at him, her face turned red again. Well, my request is to give me 3 requests that are within your ability and will not be too difficult for you. Seeing that this guy was getting more and more aggressive, Chen Jun's beautiful eyebrows suddenly stood up slightly, and he immediately made an equal counterattack. Okay, then I have the right to stop at any time. Of course. Wu Jiangtao came closer and said, then let me make my first request. You can say whatever you want, but don't get too close. If you do that, I'll stop you. Chen Jun felt his face getting a little hot. Okay. This guy sat on the bed, tilted his head back and closed his eyes. My first request is very simple, kiss me. Kiss me anywhere, I'll suffer a loss. Even a kiss on the lips is fine. Suffer a loss? She was stunned, and only then realized that this guy was a bit shameless. Who is at a disadvantage in this? Why is this too much to ask? No. If not, then you should kiss me. You close your eyes otherwise. Otherwise I can't eat it. Wu Jiangtao, you treat me like a dish, and you still want to eat me. In the end, Chen Jun still kissed him, but of course not on the mouth. Instead, he kissed him on the forehead. Okay, my second and third requests will have to wait until later. Faced with this result, Wu Jiangtao was a little disappointed even though he had expected it. However, he also knew that his relationship with Chen Jun could not be rushed. Judging from Chen Jun's reaction right now, obviously, they are still far from being emotionally compatible with each other. Moreover, their current relationship is hard to describe. It is completely different from that of ordinary lovers. He needs to care and wait more carefully and patiently. He must not be reckless and needs to balance urgency and slowness in order to make it last. Therefore, Wu Jiangtao did not plan to use up the remaining 2 requirements, but wanted to wait until later. But at this moment, a voice message suddenly popped up from the Super Dad system in my mind. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task of having the first substantial intimate contact with the baby's mother. You will be rewarded with the elite-level Giorgio massage skill. Please check it. The next moment, he was slightly stunned, and then a variety of pedicure techniques emerged in his mind. Pedicure has a long history in China and is an integral part of external treatment in traditional Chinese medicine. It combines traditional Chinese medical techniques with knife skills to treat various foot diseases. It is known as one of China's 3 major national arts, along with acupuncture and massage. At this moment, Wu Jiangtao thought of the pedicure technique, which really covers all aspects. There are 3 ways to hold a knife: pinching the knife, forcing the knife, and holding the knife long. There are 8 methods for holding the feet: supporting, picking, pinching, locking, gathering, grasping, struggling, and pushing. There are 8 methods of repair: grabbing, breaking, splitting, slicing, digging, tearing, dividing, and scraping. There are various pedicure methods, which are tailored to the disease and usually cure the disease. Pedicure can cure some foot diseases that are difficult to treat in hospitals. Pedicure is known as carving on flesh. Wu Jiantao was amazed. The next moment, this elite skill made him instinctively lower his head and look at Chen Jun's feet. He immediately changed his mind. Wait, I have a second request. Let me give you a pedicure. Chen Jun, looking down at her feet, she agreed without much thought and then stared blankly. Someone took out a nail clipper from the locker, the kind with a small file, carefully held up his feet, and started trimming the nail on his thumb. Well, Chen Jun hadn't trimmed her toenails for a while, and the nail on her thumb had grown longer without her noticing, with the edges already a little embedded in the flesh. Watching Wu Jiantao holding her feet, he first trimmed her nails very delicately, and then carefully removed the excess dead skin between her fingers bit by bit, until the tender pink flesh was exposed. As Chen Jun felt it, his face turned red again. How do I feel in my heart? Is it itchy? The dead skin here cannot be removed too cleanly. A layer must be left, otherwise it will be easy to get hurt. Wu Jiantao stared intently at the big toe in his hand, whose skin had become pink and tender and whose nails were crystal clear. While his hands kept moving, he kept explaining. Well, at first, when Chen Jun watched him remove the nails and fat from his toes, he really felt relieved and comfortable. But when Wu Jiantao finished trimming all 10 toes and started massaging them bit by bit from the toes, it felt even more wrong. The toes are farthest from the heart and have poor peripheral circulation. Kneading the toes can help promote blood circulation in the feet, which helps to promote the smooth flow of qi throughout the body and ensure smooth flow of qi. Chen Jun, who was sitting on the edge of the bed, let him play with her feet. Slowly, her face, which was originally just a little red, became hot again. Next, there is acupoint massage and acupressure on the feet. Before the massage, you need to open up the qi and blood in her feet. Simply put, this means encouraging the blood in the feet to flow back to the heart. Therefore, several joints from the knees to the feet are very important and must be activated, especially the ankle joints. After the meridians were activated, Wu Jiantao started from the Yangquan point on the sole of the foot, then the Taichang point behind the first and second toe joints, then the Taixi point in the depression between the highest point of the inner ankle and the Achilles tendon. Next, Wu Jiantao massaged the Kiexu point, Shenmai point, Kunlun point, and Jugu point along the 6 meridians of the foot by flattening, kneading, rubbing, and pressing his palms, which were rubbed with tea oil. Chen Jun didn't know that Wu Jiantao's massage skills were at the professional elite level. He only knew that after the massage, he was clearly stepping on the floor with slippers on, and the floor was not soft. But she just felt like her feet were stepping on a ball. Of course, this is not the key point. The key point is, this girl looked like she was on fire. Her face turned red all the way to her ears, and white smoke was rising from her head uncontrollably. No wonder Li Ziaoshan mocked her when she saw her look like that again, when she came in later. Over there, Chen Jun seemed to be furious, and here, Wu Jiantao was also questioning the super dad system in his mind. System, you are shameless. Tell me, did you spy on my inner preferences? System, I don't take the blame for this. This is the initial design given by the designer of another future world in time and space. If you have the guts, go cross the barrier of time and space and confront him face to face. Chapter 66, Investigate Chen Mei. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. I have to come back for dinner. Don't forget to cook my portion. I'll go see Aunt Mo and then I'll be back. At around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Chen Jun watched Li Ziaoshan put on her backpack, turned around and left 9:03, closed the door and went back to her room to continue organizing and collecting project work materials for the institute. On the other side, Wu's mother returned to the living room and saw Wu Jiantao opening a package. Well, only one nail clipper was not enough to trim Ziaoshan's feet yesterday. After the first pedicure and massage, he ordered a professional pedicure set online. Seeing the set of tools in his hands, Wu Ma was a little confused. Ziaotao, what are you doing? Oh, it's okay, this is to increase affection. Oh no, this is a set of tools for trimming toenails. The boy almost let the cat out of the bag on the spot. Wu Ma, she always felt something was wrong, but she couldn't tell what it was. Glancing at the boy, the mother angrily sent him to the kitchen. Go make dinner. Remember to make more for Ziaoshan. By the way, your cousin Dahuang is coming tomorrow, so you don't need to buy too many vegetables tomorrow morning. Ziaoshan and I are going out to eat at noon tomorrow. Huh? Wu Jiantao was stunned. My cousin is coming. Why do you and Ziaoshan have to go out to eat when he comes? You can eat together at home. Why do you care so much? Just go and cook. Wu's mother rolled her eyes at her son in annoyance. For blind dates, don't bring them to our house. It will only make people more restrained. It is better to go out. Especially since yesterday till today, there have been constant visitors at home. Don't forget that Wu Jiangtao was also one of the parties involved in the M University goddess collapse incident. In addition to Chen Jun's colleagues and friends, his classmates and brothers also came to visit him. Fat Long, Xiao Wu, Nang Yi, and other close friends who lived in the same dormitory, as well as the class monitor, the league secretary, and even the counselor came to visit. In fact, except for a few close friends, others did not necessarily have to come. They just wanted to see the goddess Chen Jun, who was famous in the university town of F-City, and especially wanted to see her two babies with Wu Jiangtao. Unfortunately, except for Panglong and the other three, the other guests who came only met Chen Jun and sat and chatted for a while, but did not get to see the baby. It's not that Chen Jun and Wu Jiangtao were unwilling, but Wu's mother wouldn't let them. Well, elders are elders after all, and they have to consider a lot. After all, the baby is not even a month old yet, still too young. With so many people here, the noise is very loud, and some even like to reach out and touch the baby, pinching their faces. Such actions can easily scare the baby, and it is hard for Wu Jiangtao or Chen Jun to say anything at this time. It's not right to say it, and it's not right not to say it. You are neither here nor there. If the baby gets frightened, he will not be able to sleep well at night and will cry easily. This is not only bad for the baby, but also for the parents. Chen Jun and Wu Jiangtao really understand this. There were several nights when the two babies woke up alternately. When one woke up, Chen Jun would feed him her, and when the other woke up and wanted to eat, she couldn't hold him her anymore, so Wu Jiangtao would have to move quickly. But sometimes, this guy was sleeping so soundly that Chen Jun reached out and shook him several times, but he didn't wake up. It was not until the child started crying very loudly that he woke him up. On the other side, in the security hall on College Road in University Town, City F. Now Yang Yuan has confessed that he posted this post because someone found him through a WeChat group and asked him to post it with a deposit of 50,000 yuan. After he posted it, he was paid a subsequent reward of 100,000 yuan. The other party was very cunning. Before the second transfer, the condition he gave him was to delete the chat records between the two of us on WeChat. However, our colleagues in the Information Technology Department of the Security Bureau have restored the chat records. As he spoke, a WeChat chat window appeared on the PPT screen in the front of the conference room, showing the chat history between Yang Yuan and the person behind the scenes. At the front of the conference room, the captain of the security department who was in charge of explaining the matter said in a serious tone, "Combining the chat evidence, transfer records, and Yang Yuan's explanation at this stage, we suspect that the person who contacted Yang Yuan was not the real instigator. In all likelihood, the person who found Yang Yuan and asked him to post the message was also commissioned. Based on the evidence and case details we have, it is clear that the other party is a very professional team and even has a certain network of economic relations in the southern mainland, which is why they can transfer money from overseas accounts." After listening to the report on the case from the security department, everyone subconsciously looked at Mo Wan, but this well-known domestic entrepreneur was sitting there with a calm face. It was unknown what she was thinking. After a while, she looked up at the criminal investigation team leader of the security department, frowning slightly. "Captain Yang, I want to know. Can you find the real person behind the scenes? Can you successfully convict him?" Captain Yang paused for a moment and said, "It is possible to find it, but to convict him, we need to form a very complete chain of evidence." That's right, the security department is not just investigating Yang Yuan, but is considering the case from many aspects and angles. They are now also investigating Chen Jun's social network one by one and have achieved certain results. Unfortunately, most of the results obtained here are based on logical inferences, and there is no conclusive evidence for the time being. "Okay, I understand." Mo Wan nodded and stood up. The young assistant beside her and a tall young man in casual clothes also stood up and stood behind her. She bowed slightly to the people present. "Thanks to Captain Yang for reacting so quickly and calming down the online violence against my daughter. Thank you, Captain Yang, and everyone at M University for your hard work on this case these past 2 days. Thank you. As for the real person behind the scenes, I just want a fair and just result. Next, Captain Yang, if you need anything from me, please feel free to contact me. I still have to go see my daughter, so I'll take my leave now." After saying that, she did not stay here any longer. Instead, she nodded to everyone and turned to leave the meeting room. The others quickly stood up and escorted this business lady out. Just as they walked out of the security hall and there was no one else around them, Mo Wan suddenly spoke indifferently. "Xiao Yi, Boss Mo. Behind him, the tall and strong young man with a solemn temperament was slightly stunned and quickly bowed in response. In my personal name, contact the team you were with before and help me investigate someone. When investigating a case, the security department needs to sort out the case, find out the suspect's motives, collect evidence, and form a complete chain of evidence and a network of case relationships. But for Mo Wan, she only needs to find out the truth. It doesn't matter whether there is evidence or not. Her own suspicion is the most important. Chapter 67 is terrible. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. The young bodyguard named Zio looked surprised. Unexpectedly, his boss would suddenly make such a request. Before he could reply, he heard Mo Wan continue. I know something about the team you were in before. Upon hearing this, his expression became slightly more serious. He didn't expect that Mr. Mo actually knew something about his background. I guess investigating a person should be a very simple thing for them. Okay, Mr. Mo, who do you want to investigate? After all, she had survived a hail of bullets. The surprise on Zio Yi's face soon disappeared, but looking at this CEO Mo, she felt deeply moved. It was indeed not easy for a strong woman to get to where she is today. Although she was not in the same field as herself, her decisiveness and courage. There is really nothing to say. You know, the team he was in before even traveled in the chaotic southern continent for several years. And if he was not about to break through in his martial arts state of mind and needed a relatively peaceful environment, he would not have left temporarily. That person is in the security office. You have seen him. Can you guess who he is? Mo Wan did not give a direct answer, but asked a question in return. Zio Yi frowned slightly and began to recall the time from entering the security hall to now. Soon, a young and handsome face appeared in his mind. University Student Union President, Chen Mei. Yes, it's him. Mo Wan narrowed her eyes slightly with a sharp light flashing inside. You may not believe it, but from the first time I saw him, his reaction was not right. My intuition tells me that Zioajan's incident is probably related to this person. Intuition. The young assistant next to him was confused and could not understand. However, there was no surprise on the face of the bodyguard named Zio Yi. In a sense, he was the same person as Mr. Mo. Both of them had some strange intuition. However, his intuition came from the blood of bullets in the past, while Mr. Mo's intuition came from the tempering of people in the business world over the past 2 or 3 decades. I understand. I will do it well. I know your rules. I'll have Zio Wan send you the 500,000 yuan deposit later. Good. Zio Yi grinned, revealing 2 rows of neat white teeth. He didn't expect that his short period of dormancy would bring him unexpected gains. Not bad. Boss Mo, where are we going next? As the assistant arrived at the parking lot, he started to speak. At this time, a slender girl who was painting on her face with a makeup mirror came towards them. When she came in front of the 3 of them, the girl suddenly put down the mirror and jumped in front of Mo Wan with a smile. Ding, ding, ding. Long time no see, Aunt Mo. Zio Shan. Mo Wan looked at the girl with a look of surprise on her face at first, and then a doting smile appeared on her face, allowing her to throw herself into his arms. Haha, are you surprised or not? You guys really know how to surprise me, she said with a double meaning while looking the girl up and down and immediately frowned. You, why have you become thinner again? The girl, of course, is Lai Xiu Shan. How is it? Have you adapted to the work and study in the United States for nearly a year? Mo Wan asked. Hearing this, the girl was stunned at first and then felt guilty. She looked at the elder hesitantly. I'm fine. Aunt Mo, you know everything. Unexpectedly, after just a simple probing question, Zioashan did not give another answer, but directly admitted that it was her, not her daughter Zioajan, who went on a business trip to the United States last year. At this moment, Mo Wan used all her might to calm herself down, but the expression on her face was almost out of control. Tell me, what is Zioajan's current situation? Aunt Mo, let's find a place to sit down and I'll talk to you properly. Li Zioashan looked at her aunt, who had doted on her since she was a child with some trepidation. As the sun sets, an intoxicating sunset dyes the western sky red. This dazzling scene attracts the attention of people under the sky. They can't help but stop, look up, and feel inexplicably moved. At the intersection of University Street, Li Zioashan and Mr. Mo were sitting on the open-air balcony of a coffee bar, their cheeks dyed red by the sunset. In just a few minutes, Li Zioashan explained everything about Chen Jun in detail. At the end, she looked at the business legend across from her carefully. Aunt Mo, I didn't expect Zioajan to do this. But after she came back, she told me that when she found out she was pregnant, she regretted it and wanted to abort the child, but it was only when she heard the doctor say that she was pregnant with twins and that she would soon be able to hear the baby's heartbeat, that she chose to give birth to the baby instead of having an abortion. Mo-Wan had a blank expression on her face, but the veins on her palms that were bulging from holding the armrest with too much force showed that this mother's heart was not at peace. No, it was terribly terrible and chilling to the bone. You just said that the boy's name is. His last name is Wu Jiantao. He is tall and handsome, has good character, and is very caring. He even bought a house in Yunlu Garden with full payment recently, and has been taking care of Xiaoran and the two babies wholeheartedly. He can also cook. Mo-Wan looked at her quietly, watching her voice gradually become lower, and then she was speechless. Do you know this boy named Wu Jiantao very well? It's okay. Oh, how is his academic performance? What's his family background like? Who are his parents? Do you know all this? Mo-Wan asked these questions calmly, then reached out and picked up the coffee on the table in front of her. Just as she took a sip, she saw the girl in front of her nodded seriously. I know. Phew, Mr. Mo, the CEO of Fei Yun Group, almost choked on the coffee. He quickly took a piece of paper to cover his mouth and looked at Li Xiaorashen in astonishment. His mother is at home now, helping to take care of Xiaoran during her confinement. Even his father has come to visit. Mo-Wan, Wu Jiantao's hometown is in Q City. His family runs a martial arts school. I heard that his family is a martial arts family and they practice Xinyiquan. I saw his and his father's skills before. They were amazing. As she continued to talk, she didn't notice that Mo-Wan's face became even uglier. Her daughter had given birth to a child out of wedlock with a strange boy whom she had never seen or even heard of. This was already unbearable for her, and now even the boy's family knew about it and had even come. As a mother, but still kept in the dark. Chapter 68, I won't go. Whoever wants to go can go. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Aunt Mo, are you okay? Taking a deep breath at this moment, Mo-Wan almost couldn't help but jump up and rush directly to Yunlu Garden to question her daughter face to face. Why do you do such a shameless thing? Why do you treat yourself like this? All this, what is it for? She gritted her teeth and her whole body trembled. She was so angry that she didn't know what to say. Xiaowan, come up here. Soon the life assistant came up and asked, Boss Mo, are you looking for me? Mo-Wan tapped and drew on her phone expressionlessly, as if she was editing some information. Soon, Xiaowan received a WeChat message from Mr. Mo. Wu Jiantao, a student of computer science at M University from Q City. His family is suspected to be a martial arts family. Immediately get someone to look up this person's information for me. The assistant hurried away after receiving the order. On the other side, Li Xiaorashen had a bad look on her face. Aunt Mo, are you going too? Mo-Wan did not answer what she wanted to do and stood up. Xiaorashen, it's been a while since we last got together. I have been to F City many times and I know a very authentic Sichuan restaurant. Aunt Mo will treat us and we can have dinner together later. No need. The foodie stood up and waved his hands. Aunt Mo, Jiang Tao has prepared my dinner. I have to go back first, or you can come with me now. After all, in this situation, why don't you? Sit down with Jiang Tao's mother and have a good discussion. There's no rush for this. Mo-Wan smiled reluctantly. I want you to introduce this boy named Wu Jiangtao and his mother to me. Don't go back. Aunt Mo will treat you to a delicious meal. That's really not necessary, Aunt Mo. By the way, Wu Jiangtao's cooking is really delicious. Are you really not going? Mo-Wan, that's a pity. I've been in F City for so many years, and I've never eaten a Sichuan restaurant that cooks more authentic food than this one. No, he must have already prepared the food, Aunt Mo. Then I'll go over first. Having said that, the big foodie waved his hands, turned around and walked away. Mo-Wan was left standing here alone, her hair disheveled in the wind. Wait, did I say I wasn't going? What? As night fell, it was time for dinner in this unique family room 903. Building 11, Yun Laiyuan and Li Xiaorashen arrived on time. After putting down the bag and walking into the restaurant, the first thing he saw was the twice-cooked pork and mapo tofu he had ordered on the table. This foodie was so greedy that his mouth was watering. On this side, Chen Jun, also supported by Wu Jiangtao, sat down at the dining table. Let's eat. Li Xiaoshen quickly served rice to everyone, and even personally served a bowl of steaming millet porridge to her best friend. How about it? Just as the family was about to start eating, Chen Jun glanced at her best friend and asked casually. Immediately, Wu Jiangtao and Wu Ma also looked over, wanting to know what was going on with Chen Jun's mother. Forehead. Seeing everyone's expectant eyes, Li Xiaorashen had no choice but to put down her chopsticks and said helplessly, Can't you let me have a good meal first? Do we have to talk about this now? Facing Chen Jun's reproachful eyes, The big foodie then told Mo Wan the entire conversation that had just taken place. Wu Jiangtao was a little surprised when he heard Li Ziarashan say that his future mother-in-law was investigating him. Wu's mother frowned, and Li Ziarashan looked helpless. As for Chen Jun, he looked calm, as if he had expected this. She's always like this. Never mind, let's eat first. Ziarashan, why don't you call your mother and ask her to come over for dinner? Mother Wu looked at the calm girl and suggested something. Although she didn't reserve an extra seat, if Chen Jun's mother really came, she would just need to add a pair of bowls and chopsticks and a chair. No matter what, she still hopes that Chen Jun's mother can come, and the two families can sit down together to discuss what the two young people should do next, solving problems if there are any, and resolving conflicts if there are any. Wu Ma always thought that she was a very easygoing person. What problems and conflicts could she not overcome? If there was a conflict that could not be resolved, then she would solve the person who created the conflict. This method was fine for solving Wu Ba's problem. She should still talk and communicate well with her in-laws. At the same time, in Q City, hundreds of kilometers away, Wu Ba sneezed violently. Chen Jun turned around and glanced at Wu Ma, forcing a smile. Aunt, my mother is a domineering person. I'm afraid that if she comes, it will embarrass you and Jiang Tao. It's okay, it's okay. You don't have to worry about us. No matter what, no matter how big the problem or conflict is, she is your mother after all. We are all family. What can't we do if we sit down and talk it out? Even if we have a fight, we can communicate and exchange our ideas. If we don't communicate, the problem will always be there. Hearing Wu Ma's kind words of advice, Chen Jun felt a little warmed in the heart and began to seriously consider this proposal. However, Wu Jiantao beside her had a strange look on his face after hearing these words, and couldn't help but look up at his mother. Mom, it seems that you and Dad never sit down and talk properly in our family. Isn't the way you are best at communicating physically? Facing her son's puzzled expression, Wu Ma smiled warmly. What are you looking at? Wu Jiangtao. It's okay, I'll eat. After being silent for a while, Chen Jun finally picked up the phone and called her mother. Beep-a-beep. Obviously, she didn't turn on the speakerphone, but at this extremely quiet table, everyone could clearly hear the sound coming from the microphone after the call was made. Suddenly, the sound stopped, and a female voice came from the other side. Ziarajan, Mo Wan's voice came. Mom, the mother's voice was a little low, as if she was trying hard to suppress something. Mom, have you eaten yet? If not, would you like to come over? I live in Yunlu Garden. Zio Shan told me where you live, Mo Wan said in a faint voice. I'm just wondering, did you prepare a seat for me at the table over there? Mom, Chen Jun was choking for a moment and subconsciously glanced at the seats on the table. There were indeed not many extra seats. In this situation, she definitely couldn't answer truthfully, and she didn't like lying, so she had to shut up. Facing her mother since she was young, she was not very good at speaking, especially when it came to talking. She had never quarreled with her mother. Of course, this was only in words, and her actions were naturally. No one knows a girl better than her mother. At this moment, Mo Wan on the other side was furious. Originally, she just said this casually after receiving the call, but after hearing her daughter's reaction. And you really didn't leave any room for yourself. Not going. Whoever wants to go can go. The mother was so angry at this time that she said in a stern tone, Pack up your and the baby's luggage tonight. I will come tomorrow morning. She was going to say in the morning, but suddenly remembered that she had an important meeting tomorrow morning, so she immediately changed her mind. Tomorrow at noon. I'll be there to pick you and the babies up. Chapter 69. Leftovers, please read and vote for me, Tilda. Mom, I'm not going back. I have always given you choices since you were little, but you have no choice this time. You are my daughter, and you must come home with me. I will give you one night to prepare until tomorrow at noon. I will come to see you at noon tomorrow. Mom, can you please respect my wishes? Chen Jun frowned her beautiful eyebrows and wanted to argue, but Mo Wan on the other end of the phone hung up without saying a word, leaving only a blank tone. In silence, she put away her phone, looked up at Wu Ma and forced a smile. Sorry, Auntie, my mom won't come, let's eat by ourselves. It's okay, isn't she coming tomorrow? We can always talk and communicate when she comes, it's okay. Come on, let's eat. While Wu Ma felt sorry for her daughter, she also felt helpless. It seemed that the conflict between her and her mother was much greater than she had imagined. While Mo Wan was talking on the phone with her daughter Chen Jun, the bodyguard named Zio Yi just returned to his room in the hotel. He first glanced around the room warily, and then checked whether there were any listening or surveillance devices in the room. After confirming that there was nothing unusual, he finally picked up the phone and dialed a number. Scorpio. Hey, Jabba. If I'm not mistaken, you should have returned to your country during this period, he said lightly. Yes, I'm back to my sect. Aren't you on vacation? How did you find time to look for me? I received a small task in the country. The reward is not small. Are you interested? We will split the reward 50-50. Now that I'm back, I want to show my respect to my master and mistress. I don't want to take any missions anymore. You can find someone else. The man opposite, code named Scorpio, spoke lazily and didn't seem to be interested. The mission reward is 5 million, and the other party has already paid 10% as a deposit. Well, I suddenly feel a little lazy these days, and I want to go out for a walk. Haha, didn't you say that you wanted to honor your master and mistress and didn't want to take the mission? King, I said lightly, full of sarcasm. With money I can better honor my parents. Come on, tell me what mission you want to accomplish. In China, as long as it's not a crime like murder or arson, I can complete it beautifully for you. Investigate a person. King I is concise and to the point. Oh, investigating a person? So simple. With such a high reward, the target should not be a small person, right? Let me make it clear in advance that if it is someone from the official or related background, I will not accept it. I want to return to China to retire in the future. He's not a big shot. King I shook his head. He's a junior student at M University in F City. His name is Chen Mei. He's the president of the student union. His family is a merchant family. He may have official connections, but they're just personal connections. The Scorpio on the other side was immediately confused. No, you have investigated it very clearly. Don't worry, I'll organize the details of the investigation mission and send them to you later. Okay, then let's do this first. At the same time, in Q City, in a quiet Chinese courtyard, a man with a fashionable beard and avant-garde hairstyle was leaning lazily on a chair and hanging up the phone leisurely. On the ground, another middle-aged man who looked older than him and was making tea could not help but frown. What's the matter? Is there something wrong with you? If so, don't get involved in Tao Tao's affairs. The middle-aged man opposite, wearing a long gown and training clothes, was actually Wu Dad. It's okay. We're just investigating the son of an ordinary merchant family. Xiao Tao's matter is more important. After all, I'm his uncle. The older young man with a beard looked to be in his 40s, but from the way he was dressed and the smirk on his face, he gave people a very young feeling. By the way, brother-in-law, how did you offend Master again? I just came back and heard Master talking about you. Oh, stop talking. That little bastard did such a good thing. Oh, that's rare. What good news could make you so unhappy? Come on, tell me and make me happy. Wu Dad, this junior fellow has been used to wandering around in the southern continent and has become more and more disrespectful. After giving this fellow a blank look, he then told him about the good things that had happened to Wu Jiangtao recently, which made the brother-in-law stare in amazement. Fuck, my unicorn arm hasn't even grown yet, and my nephew already has a son and a daughter. Hearing this, Wu Dad held his forehead in silence. Oh, I almost forgot. The most important event in my brother-in-law's life has not yet been settled. Of course, this was also related to the fact that after he had mastered martial arts, he went to the southern continent with his senior master to pursue martial arts. If he could develop safely in China, the son of this brother-in-law would at least be able to play a supporting role. To be honest, if he had not been chosen by his father to stay as a disciple to carry on the family martial arts, he would most likely have gone to the southern continent when he was young. Thinking of this, Wu Dad's eyes also revealed a trace of regret. If he could have gone to the southern continent when he was young, his martial arts would have reached the pinnacle by now. Then I have to go and see this kid. Yuan Long stroked his bearded chin, feeling surprised and moved at the same time. Your uncle has 5 girlfriends, and you even have a son and a daughter. Suddenly, the text message alert on his cell phone on the tea table rang. Dad, that little bitch texted me. Wu Dad. Yuan Long picked up the teacup and took a sip without caring. He opened the screen of his mobile phone and looked at the email message sent by King I. The next moment, Buff, the guy turned around and bent over and spat out a mouthful of tea, almost choking himself. Wu Dad, he looked at the guy unhappily. I say, can you be a little more steady? After so many years, why are you still so jumpy? No. Yuan Long coughed repeatedly. After he recovered, he picked up the phone and handed it over. When Wu's father saw the content above, his face couldn't help but frown slightly. What? The other side. In the presidential suite of a very luxurious 5-star hotel, Mo Wan hung up the phone with a grim face. On the table in front of her was the dinner sent by the hotel. It had been there for a while, and she hadn't touched a single bite. The food that just now had an enticing aroma has now gone cold. After sitting quietly for a long time, Mr. Mo finally made up his mind and picked up the phone. Zyro Yi. Mr. Mo, go ahead. Use your connections to help me gather warriors. At least those at the professional level, preferably star warriors. Try to find as many as possible. They need to be in place tomorrow morning. Remuneration is not a problem. Okay. King A on the phone hesitated for a moment and reminded, Boss Mo, the time is too short. I can only summon 1 or 2 star-level warriors at most, but it should be no problem to summon more than 5 professional-level warriors. Okay, I get it, just do your best. There is another problem. Most of them are in the city of X in the south. They may not arrive that early. Just make sure you arrive before noon tomorrow. Okay, I understand. Mo Wan sat quietly and let out a long breath. There was a stack of documents on the dining table, and on top was Wu Jiangtao's resume. My academic performance has never been outstanding since I was a child, and my academic performance after entering M University is even more average. I can't do literature. Even though his family ran a small martial arts school, it did not allow him to pursue a career in martial arts. He could not become a martial artist. Thinking back to the information she had just